What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of DC Action Hour.
Woo!
Yeah! All right. Oh, that was really lame. There's only two of us. It was weak. All right. So, hey, everybody. My name is Jeff from Super Geeked Up. I'm joined, as always, by Marx Pyle.
Hi, everybody.
Usually we have a guest co-host, but everybody time traveled back to 1984 to see Wonder Woman. So I don't know. So it's just two of us today, but that's okay because we're like super smart and we have awesome opinions. So I don't.
We're humble too.
Yes. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't watched our show before, we talk all the DC television shows on the CW. So that would be Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, Black Lightning, and Legends of Tomorrow. And then we also usually work in some DC movie news and that kind of stuff. Like a little later in the show, we're actually going to talk about Wonder Woman 1984, the sequel, because they just released some new set picks from there. And we're also going to talk about the DC online streaming service because we have more news on a launch date for that. So we'll talk a little bit about that later. And then the big thing today, though, is we're going to talk mostly about Supergirl because that's the show that has been airing new episodes for the past month. So we're going to talk about the last few episodes, including the season finale, which aired last week. So we love to hear your guys' thoughts in the chat. We're actually streaming the first time ever on both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So, hey, yeah, exciting technology. So, folks, if you're in either of those places and watching us, thank you very much. Please share your thoughts in the chat or any questions, and we will read them live on air. I see Raisa is already in our YouTube chat. So thank you, Raisa, for watching. She always sends us cool news on Twitter about DC stuff. And then I know Anthony Davis, listeners made it, just messaged me that he's going to jump in a little later on when he gets back. All right, good. So anyway, we like to start things off with what we call our super tweet question. And this one today is... so, as I mentioned, the Wonder Woman sequel is going to be set in 1984. So we asked people to give us a superhero, villain, or team and tell us what time period you like to see them in. So we actually got a bunch of cool comments on Facebook earlier today. But Marx, I want to know your answer.
I was thinking like Fantastic Four version, like in the 50s or something, like one of those retro sci-fi style.
Oh, yeah. I got you. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
When did Fantastic Four, when did they debut? 40s? 50s?
No, I was in the 70s, I think.
Oh, really? Oh, they're not
or late 60s or 70s.
Oh, yeah. I guess I thought they were old. They're not as old as I thought they were.
Yeah. They premiered with Marvel, or in the early days of Marvel. And
well, when you say Marvel, is because Spider-Man's the 60s, I know. Is that, you say Marvel didn't exist before the 60s, really?
Nope, not really.
Oh, wow. So DC has a big jump on them then, actually.
Yeah, they got the rights from Captain America, Submariner, Namor, and a few other characters from a different comic book company.
Oh, okay. So some of those characters are older than that, but
yeah. Original Human Torch, those characters.
Oh, the Human Torch was before the Fantastic Four?
Yeah, there was an original one that was different name and everything. It was an android, but it had the same powers. Still, it was on fire, flying around.
Oh, cool. Interesting.
Yeah.
Folks, if you're new to our show, yes, we do sometimes talk about Marvel because we love all kinds of superheroes and comic stuff. So, however, my choice will be going back to DC. I want to see the Justice League in medieval times. I think that would be fun.
That'd be cool. Like a Knights of the Round Table.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. They could form their own. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Good thinking. Yeah. That's really good. Yeah, perfect. And then they could be a knight. Batman could be a knight, jousting.
He is the Dark Knight.
That's right. Yeah. Cool. I think that'd be fun. Seeing them in period costumes. All right. Let's see. On Facebook, let's see what people had to say to this question. Carrie Johnson said it'd be cool to see the Legion stuck in the 90s without the use of their future tech. It'd be cool. In fact, actually going back to Marvel, Captain Marvel is going to be set in the 90s, the movie that's coming out.
That's true. I could see Bouncing Boy really succeeding in the 90s.
You love Bouncing Boy so much. You like
I can see like Vanilla Ice was in the early 90s, right? Mm-hmm. So I could see Vanilla Ice singing some song, and he's bouncing, boy, bounce, bounce. You know.
Actually, I could totally see that. Marx really wanted Bouncing Boy to be on Supergirl this season, so I know you're disappointed that didn't happen.
So disappointed.
Listeners may just joined us in the chat. Hello, hey Anthony, thank you for watching. So Anthony, we're talking about what time period we would like to see a hero or villain's movie set in, like how Wonder Woman's in 1984. So what either hero or villain or team and what time period you'd like to see them set in? That's our super tweet question. Also on Facebook, Scorpio Luna said, I'd put the Joker in the Jurassic era alone. Think he's crazy now? Imagine how batshit he'd go with no one to play with. That's true. Yeah, he would go, I don't know. I don't know. How do you think the Joker would do with dinosaurs?
I don't know. Play a lot of practical jokes and dinosaurs, I guess. I don't know.
That would go well.
I can see a Joker Tyrannosaurus Rex. He like pets it or makes a pet out of it, and it puts smile face on it. Be interesting.
That's very disturbing. CJ Boat on Facebook said he always wants to see more noir stuff. Batman in the 30s. That's cool. That's always cool.
Yeah.
And Michael Gilstrap says a Suicide Squad comprised of less known, utilized DC characters set in the 70s. That'd be cool too.
That would be.
We're down with that. In the YouTube live chat, Lister's Mate says, I just want to see She-Hulk or the Orion Slave Girls. I should have known. That's what he always wants to see. Okay, what time period, though? Give us a time period you want to see them in.
She-Hulk during prehistoric times. That'd be great.
Oh,
She-Hulk,
well.
smash dinosaur.
I mean, she would be able to survive much better than the Joker, I think.
She probably would, yeah. I would think so.
All right. So there you go, folks. You can keep sharing your thoughts in a live chat or on Twitter at Super Geeked Up. So let's go to, before we talk about, we're going to have a lot to talk about with Supergirl. Before we do that, and we also, I forgot to mention, folks, we're going to also talk about our predictions for all the shows, Arrow, Flash, all those, for like the new seasons in the fall. So wait to hear these fantastic predictions, that all of which I'm sure will not come true. Actually, every so often we make a good prediction. All right. Anyway, let's talk Wonder Woman 1984, which is the name of the sequel that is coming out November 1st, 2019. There are some pics that Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot and company have released online. So those are all from what they've been shooting so far on the set. So you see, obviously, there's a Gal as Wonder Woman in the upper left. On your right, we see Kristen Wiig as Cheetah. What's it? Minerva something is the actual name, right, of the character? I don't have the...
Cheetah's real name?
Yeah, it's in the article. I don't have it up. Well, whatever. Somebody can tell me in the chat. And then we have, in the bottom there, we have Steve Trevor sporting an awesome, like, tracksuit. 80s, like, tracksuit in a mall or something.
It's going to come back in style.
Yes. Like, wow, man. Like, no wonder Diana's going to fall for him, right? In that great tracksuit.
I know. Can't resist that.
Yeah. By the way, in the live chat, Race said for our super tweet question, DC's bombshell set during the World War II Elseworld. That's cool. Yeah, absolutely. That's very cool. And she also says Barbara Minerva is her name. Thank you, Race. That's Cheetah's name. Very good. All right. So, I absolutely loved the Wonder Woman movie. It was my favorite movie last year. I think you really enjoyed it as well, correct?
Yeah, I did. It's the best one that DC's done of this entire universe setting, I think.
So I'm excited for the sequel. I grew up in the 80s, so 80s is my favorite decade, so I'm 100% behind them setting it in 1984. That's really cool. I'm also glad that they didn't. I mean, if anything, I guess maybe they jumped a little bit further ahead than I thought they might from the first movie.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they didn't jump to modern times, at least right away. That was good.
Yeah, it skipped a lot of wars.
Yes, they did. Marx, are you writing your novel right now?
I really like. I'm looking at the pictures. Sorry.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't know you had a different screen up.
I really like the guy in the background, the mustache and the shorts.
Hang on, let me put the screen back up. Oh, I know. The guy. The guy in the blue shorts. You mean the high socks?
In the high socks, yeah.
Oh, I forget all the '80s style that there was back. That's great. It's also in the big hair, of course.
I know, the big hair, yeah.
I hope that guy's the main character.
I wish he was. I'm just saying. It would be cool. Just some random dude who gets involved.
That would be great. Listener's Mate says, that pick of Wonder Woman looks like Molly the librarian who does yoga at conventions. He's talking about Molly Varela, who has been on our Super Geeked Up show as a guest. She cosplays as Wonder Woman and does a great job with it. Anyway, sorry, we got so sidetracked by the fashion of the 80s. I need something with a boom box, though. That's what I really need to see. If Steve Trevor came in like that, that would be perfect. He just bumps into Diana. All right, well, first off, let's start with Steve Trevor, because I was very surprised to hear that he's back, apparently.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, first off, in the first movie, and these are some spoilers, folks, if you haven't seen the first movie. I was very surprised that they killed him in the first movie. And I kept waiting for him to come back at the end of that movie, like he had ejected somehow, and he was really alive or something like that. But I thought he was really dead by the end of that movie. That's what it seems like. And I actually gave a lot of props to them. I was like, that's actually cool. I respect it that they actually killed a main character off, because comic books are obviously famous for not doing that. Mm-hmm. However, I guess they did not do that at all, which is kind of a bummer, because I actually liked that they took that. It seemed like they had taken that step to really kill him off. So how is Steve Trevor alive, do you think? Is it some kind of weird time travel thing?
Well, it could be what they did in the comic books at one point. He's like a relative of him. And she falls for him.
Oh, so he's what's his face? Chris Pine is going to play him, but it's really like his great grandson or something or whatever.
Could be. They've done that before, so I would say that's probably what they're going to do, but who knows?
I love how in movies the relatives look like clones of the actual person. They're exactly the same.
Aren't they all like that? Doesn't your dad look exactly like you and everybody else?
Yeah, everybody confuses. You can't tell the difference.
Maybe he's a clone. I don't know. Russians made him. He's the Winter Soldier.
Oh, come on. Well, okay. Well, that would make sense, though, that he could still be dead. And that.
Yeah, that way they get the death still keeps meaning, but then they can have these feelings for, his descendant and play with that. And he could also be very different personality-wise in some ways, too. So, or maybe they just do God magic and he's back. Who knows? Mm-hmm. We'll see.
In the YouTube chat, your listener's mate says maybe someone cloned him, actually, so he was echoing what we were just talking about. I don't think it's really going to be a clone. I think it could actually be him, though. I mean, I think they could do some goofy time travel thing.
It could be.
I kind of prefer your relative idea, though.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm sure everybody wants to know. So.
I mean, I don't think he needs to be in period, to be honest with you. I think this is when I was thinking about this today with kind of like Barry and Iris and the Flash and everything. One thing I think the movies and shows get a little bit too caught up in sometimes, I think, is that they have to keep the relationships from the comics. And I get that they want to be faithful, but I don't know. I think sometimes that's not in the best interest of these things that are not the comics. That like she doesn't have to wind up with Steve Trevor or someone who looks like him. Barry doesn't have to be with Iris. I would have preferred, he actually wasn't in the show, but
yeah, I know. Well, in movies, it's pretty customary to have a romance subplot. So
it is. Although I do appreciate that it was pretty light in the first one. That was not a big deal about that movie, which is good. Yeah. Like, I actually think they didn't need to have any romance at all. I think they could have just been friends, and that would have worked even better for that movie.
Yeah, it could have. It made it just a little extra punch, though, when he died, though, by doing that. That's why I think.
True. All right. I don't know. I mean, yes, you're right. It's like a convention of a lot of movies, but I don't know. It'd be nice to see someone where you don't have to have a romance necessarily. You know, for every character, every main character.
Yeah, especially I guess for a female lead, you just kind of like, oh, because you see females are always so often introduced in movies as secondary characters to be female. Be
Love
romance.
interest.
Yeah, love interests. So I guess it'd be interesting to have one where you don't have that. I don't really know who Captain Marvel's love interest is, so she might not have any love interest. Who knows? She might be busy killing Skrulls.
Yeah, exactly. She doesn't have time for that. All right. Well, what about Cheetah? What do you here? I mean, from this picture, that's right. Yeah, she's like, I guess, kind of like she gets. The article says obsessed, I guess, with like ancient relics, right? And Wonder Woman's like lasso and other stuff, I guess. And maybe Race or somebody in the chat can, like Anthony, can help us out. I'm trying to remember. I don't know a lot about Cheetah actually from the comics. Was she like a archaeologist or professor or something, but she was into that stuff, right?
I think a version of her might be. There's been a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
For years.
You're right. Which version of DC are we talking about?
I mean, I would think they would combine that in because that's the whole, whole theme of Wonder Woman is tied into the gods and such. So I could see it be magic and such. Transformer, Egyptian god, transforms her into a cat.
Oh, well, that's not in the comics though, right? There's no ties to Egyptians and.
No, there's not.
That'd be cool though. I mean, because the cat is a very big figure in Egyptian.
It is. That's why I was thinking that. That'd be interesting.
That's a great idea. I like it.
Yeah. it'll be mad scientist cloning Steve Trevor and then making her KGB probably.
KGB? Did you say?
Well, it's 80s.
Because it's the Cold War, you mean?
Yeah.
Raisa in the YouTube chat says Minerva, aka Cheetah, was an archaeologist. There you go. Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, she's one of the major arch enemies of Wonder Woman, so it's cool to see her.
I would say she's probably like one of the top two, right?
Yeah, I think it's Ares and then her. So.
Oh, well, that makes sense because they had Ares in the first movie.
Yeah.
Do you think they're gonna have her in a costume or CG as a cheetah, like when she turns into?
Probably CG, I would think, or a combo of it. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I would like a really cool costume, kind of though.
It'd be hard to pull that off.
I know, but I miss costumes, man. Like.
Yeah.
Well, the TV shows do it, which is nice though. Like.
I mean, it could be a costume that's enhanced by CG, so that would be fine. But I don't know if they could do a whole costume and
How
make
about
it look
she looks
organic.
like Super Friends, the Super Friends cartoon show from the late 70s?
Well, and I feel like fur creatures are harder to make look right. I mean, unless you make them real bushy, like Chewbacca or something. I feel like that could go really wrong. He'd look like a Furby, basically. My arch enemy, Furby.
She's like, oh, you're so cute.
The furry party. Oh no. But plus that tail, she has that tail. You probably want to CGI that.
Oh yeah. You're right. The tail would be very difficult. What do you think about Kristen Wiig? I'll be honest with you. I don't think I've seen Kristen Wiig in anything except a couple of Saturday Night Live sketches when she used to be on that. I don't know if I'm really, I guess, a huge fan of hers. I guess I haven't really seen enough. And I'm one that I never want to criticize an actor before they get to play the role. So we'll see what she does. It wouldn't have been my first choice. But here's my thing. If out of all these roles, I guess I could think about, or a lot of the roles, Cheetah is actually a role I think that they could have gone casting outside the original race of that character. Like, I think Cheetah, I don't know, for me, it would have been a character we could have casted someone of a different, of a minority or something,
Oh, yeah. Especially the one with the Egyptian thing, just saying.
Or, I don't know, Cheetah's like, I don't know, where Cheetah's from Africa originally, or like, I don't know. I'm thinking like Africa or South America or something. Yeah, I think Africa, but I don't know. So, I mean, I think that would make sense, like, from where maybe the Cheetahs are from anyway, that to cast someone from that region, ethnicity,
It's true. Yeah. I'm sure she'll do a good job. And I have voiced certain opinions of some of the DC films, but I don't think I complain really about any of their casting choices. Like all the actors have done good with what the material is. So.
Oh, you're right. Actually, I think the Justice League. I think the casting was awesome, and you're right. Even the other ones, even the movies that maybe people didn't like as much. I mean, I like them more than most people, but I think the casting has been spot on.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. So I'm sure she'll do good. But yes, this would have been a good role for a minority character or minority actor. I mean, but oh well.
All right.
Guess not.
But I guess we don't know anything about the plot. I don't think, right?
No. Nope. Well, hopefully, I would say if it's the 80s, there's going to be some kind of Russian element. Surely.
Well, you really want this Russian element. Jeez.
I want a Russian element.
I kind of don't. Just because I don't know. It's so like that's always the thing I guess they do in the Cold War stuff.
Because it was big there back then.
I know. I remember. I grew up. It was very big. I don't know. But what does Cheetah have to do with the Cold War? Do you think she's working for the Russians?
Yeah, you never know. You never know. The Russian gods are moving in. Yeah, they're like the Greek gods are gone, so we're gonna like take over now. That's what it is.
All right.
No, I don't know. It'd be that or Big Brother is another thing you could always play with. Or it might be just simple, straight up. She gets powers and they get in a fight.
Yeah, so. I'm okay with that. Do you think we'll see Themyscira again in this movie? Because that was awesome in the original.
Surely we will.
The Amazons were amazing.
Yeah, I hope so. Nope, Steppenwolf killed them all.
No, he didn't. No. You still haven't seen it, right?
What?
Justice League.
Oh, I saw it.
Oh, you did? I didn't know you finally saw it.
Yeah. The same weekend I watched Infinity War, and then after that, the next day I watched Justice League. So.
Back to back, the two team movies.
Yeah, so it got me all caught up on my superhero movies now.
Oh, excellent. So, I mean, I love Justice League. Did you like it, or what'd you think?
It was good. It was good. It was one of their best.
Just doing a endorsement here.
I would say like Wonder Woman's the best they've done in this universe.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman's the best, in my opinion, or that I enjoyed. And then I don't know. Probably.
I 100% put Justice League a close second for me.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. There are certain things I like about Suicide Squad. I think it's just because Will Smith and Margot
Robbie.
Yeah, Margot Robbie. But yeah, Justice League was better.
All right, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Listeners mate in the YouTube chat says the only thing I can think of Kristen Wiig playing Cheetah is that they're wanting to put a comedic spin on the character. That would be an interesting idea. I mean, I know that what she's known for is more comedic stuff, but I kind of feel like she's gonna do more dramatic in this one.
Well, they might do like what they did with Catwoman in the original Batman movies. Like she's real mousy and clumsy or whatever as herself, and then she changes and becomes a different kind of person as Cheetah. Might even do a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of thing with them. Never know.
That's true, and that's actually what they did in Batman Returns, isn't it? With Michelle Pfeiffer playing Catwoman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that maybe that's what they're gonna do, or maybe not.
some of these tropes, man, I don't know. They're like...
Well, hopefully they will destroy all the tropes, but if they're going to do tropes, that's probably where they're going to go with it.
That's right, folks. If you want to be confident and become a supervillain,
right?
Be all sexy and have everybody want to get with you romantically.
Yeah, just become a super Catwoman. Well, maybe they won't do that. We'll see. See what they do.
I wouldn't be surprised, particularly the way she's dressed in this picture.
Yeah, it's a little goofy. Of course, it's the 80s too, so who knows?
Yeah, right. I mean, it's way better than the guy in the shorts.
Yeah, I mean, actually, it's not that goofy.
It's not really that goofy at all. But
no,
it's kind of librarian-esque, I guess. Like reserved and. Yeah,
it's actually not that bad for the 80s, really.
But Cheetah's not like she's kind of a very exuberant character, right? Or kind of very confident and.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's very dangerous. I haven't really read her that much in the comic books, so I never really read Wonder Woman that much. Most of my Wonder Woman's always been through all the Justice League comic books I've read and crossovers and stuff. So I've read a few Wonder Woman arcs, but not as much as I'd like to.
No, I'm the same. And a lot of my favorite Wonder Woman is actually from the Justice League animated series. I love that version of her.
Yeah, and the best Hawk Girl ever.
Oh god, the Hawk Girl's so good.
Yeah.
That freaking Thanagarian, what do they call it? Thanagarians or something? Their race.
Yeah, I think that's right. Thanagarians.
There was like that 3-parter on all that. Man, that was so good.
Oh, that was good. Yeah. Yeah, it was such a great cartoon series.
Loved it. All right. Anyway, all right. There you go, folks. You can share your thoughts about Wonder Woman 1984. Oh, still got a bit of a wait, not till November 1st, 2019. So it's actually not going to be a summer release like the first one. And then, but all right. So let's go on to our other news before we get to Supergirl, which is Marx. What's that? What's our next news?
It's DC Universe, the new streaming platform coming up. They're opening up potential beta users, I guess. So if you're interested in doing that, you can go sign up. Yep. And
you should choose me, guys. Choose both of us because we can talk about it on our show.
Yeah, choose us. We can talk about it. It'd be great. I think you should give us like a year free access to it. It'd be awesome.
I like that.
You can just give it to us for free, and then and then we'll say you're our sponsors the whole time. See, it's great. It's perfect.
It is. Look, I even got this screen I mocked up to advertise you guys. There it is.
So yeah, today they announced the beta access will open in August. We don't have an exact date yet before it formally launches in fall. So what's kind of interesting is it's going to be, we're going to have a lot of original programming we've talked about before, like with Titans. It's probably the big one. They're also going to have a spin-off Doom Patrol and Swamp Thing, and they also have animated series for Harley Quinn and season 3 of Young Justice. They're calling it Young Justice Outsiders. So
now Harley Quinn and Young Justice are animated series, correct?
Yeah, those two are animated. The rest are live action.
Remind me again what Doom Patrol is. Is that a villains or something?
Yeah, they're a superhero team. They're sort of like DC's take on X-Men in a way. A bunch of outsiders, basically, and they're main professor dudes in a wheelchair. But they got a robot man guy who's in a robot body. They got a negative man or woman who's like wrapped up in bandages and can turn into this like negative energy being. And Elastigirl, is that right? Hopefully I'm getting these names right. She can like,
yeah, I can stretch.
Get large. Yeah, that kind of stuff. I used to read Doom Patrol. It's been a long time, obviously, since I can't remember them very well. I used to read Doom Patrol. I always kind of liked some of the Doom Patrol stuff.
So they're on the patrol for Doom happening.
They're on the patrol for Doom. Yeah, like what's that? The brain in the jar guy with the talking ape dude. Gosh, those bad guys. They're sometimes in Teen Titans and stuff like that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I remember some brain in a jar that was really gross, and like I couldn't stand that guy.
Well, those were Doom Patrol villains originally. There's an elemental
talking
man.
ape, but not Gorilla Grodd, right?
No, he's not Gorilla Grodd, but he's another
talking
intelligent. Yeah, he's another intelligent ape. You can never have too many intelligent apes.
Right, of course not.
I think he's French. Don't quote me on that. I just feel like he is, but
he's a French talking ape.
I don't know why I'm thinking that. But anyway, I'm going to get on tangents, get myself in trouble because of random thoughts of what I'm not sure.
Wow, they're really going to give us a free year after hearing this.
Nope, they're not. There's in the comic books, there's a Suicide Squad versus Doom Patrol crossover that I always like remember because it was so epic. It was a special crossover episode, like double sized, and it was a really cool story in Russia, and brought in Rocket Reds and stuff. And that was a really cool story. That was, more like the original Suicide Squad. Maybe not the original, but back in that first line of them back in the 80s and 90s, early 90s, before we have this more funky Doom Patrol we have now, or crazy. Gotcha. As Harley Quinn and such. But anyway, so we got a lot of cool stuff. I liked Young Justice, the cartoon, quite a bit. So I'm glad to see that. They also showed us some of the character designs. There's some cool new characters being introduced. And we also got some Harley Quinn, which I'm sure will be goofy and crazy. And there'll also be a lot of, past titles in there. I don't know if they'll have everything, but they'll have Batman the Animated Series, it's all part of Justice League. I don't know if they're going to have Justice League Unlimited or not, but hopefully they will. The Constantine animated special thing they did. Got Lois and Clark. We got the old Wonder Woman TV. We got Wonder Woman. We got Adventures of Superman.
70s TV show, yep.
The original Flash series.
Flash. Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy. Some of the animated movies.
Yep.
Here's the thing, though. Oh, hey, sorry, let me share before I say that. In the YouTube chat, Maria Duran, our good friend, says, "Hey, Jeff, hey, Marx, peeking to say hi. I'm behind in all my DC, so I'm avoiding spoilers. LOL." Well, right now, Maria, we're not doing any spoilers, so you're okay at the moment. But yes, Supergirl will get some spoilers later on. We're just talking news here. Right now, we just joined us. We talked about Wonder Woman 1984, and now we're talking about DC's new online streaming service that's coming up. So I thought when we've talked about this in the past that the idea was, if you're going to pay for this, okay, and I was considering doing it because besides the new shows, I thought they were going to give you access to like all the past stuff, which is going to make it worthwhile, right? But from this article, you're right, like some of the stuff, but it does not say either of the Justice League animated series. It does not say the Superman animated one. It only says a couple of the animated movies, or few, and there's been a ton of animated movies, right? I mean, the stuff they listed is very cool. I agree. But Justice League is my favorite one. Like, why? Like, unless maybe part of it is like some of these shows maybe Cartoon Network actually kind of owns instead of them or something. I don't know if that's, they can't get, but it doesn't seem like, you would think Warner Brothers still would own all this stuff, right?
No, I don't think Cartoon, they might have a thing. Oh, no.
I don't even remember what all the, I know some of the shows I think were in Cartoon Network. I don't know where all the shows actually were on it back in the day, but.
Yeah, Teen Titans Go might be, because it's still going, I think.
Yeah, well, no, I didn't say that one, but all these are shows way in the, like the late the 90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s.
They might still be contracted to Netflix or something right now.
Oh, to somewhere else, you're saying, and maybe they'll add them later on,
or maybe they'll have them all or more than what they're showing here. I don't know, but yeah, if they don't have like. They should have their whole library. If they don't have their whole library, it's going to be kind of frustrating to pay for that unless it's super inexpensive.
That's the thing, because there's not enough. It's the same problem with CBS, which I don't, All Access, which I don't do. There's not enough new shows that they're doing to make it worthwhile. Like Titans looks cool, and I love the shots of, I guess. I mean, it looked like it is. So it is Robin, not Nightwing. He's going to play. In Titans?
I think maybe he's going to be Nightwing, but maybe he starts off as Robin.
In the one picture, he has the R on his chest on the site. Actually, I have a picture here. But on the other picture, he does look like Nightwing. Maybe he changes over to it.
He may change over for it, and
anyway, those pictures look cool, right? Yeah. So I'd be interested in that. But you're right. If I'm going to pay again for another service, right? I want to get pretty much the content, past content.
Yeah, pretty much. You got to if you're going to do that. If you're going to be that specific, because that's very specific. It's not like all Warner Brothers properties. It's just DC. Now, the one thing that's interesting they're doing that I don't think anybody's done yet is they're supposed to have what they say, how they describe it. It will also offer Be Home. Okay, so. It will be home to a rotating selection of comics.
Oh, yes. I like that idea.
Yeah. And I think that they have a lot of comic selections on top of, hopefully everything in their library are pretty darn close. then that would be pretty cool. Because I bet you they're not going to have any of the CW stuff, most likely. At least not starting off. So that's a lot of shows that they're missing right out of the gate, like all the ones we talk about.
Oh, you mean all the CW shows?
Yeah, because they got that deal with Netflix. Until that runs out, they probably can't do that.
But that's the thing. Once all those deals run out, I'm sure they're gonna pull all that stuff onto their service.
Probably.
I mean, I'm sure. Well, I'm sure it'll stay on CW. I would expect, but then as soon as it's done, the season will go up on DC service instead of Netflix.
Yeah, I would imagine so. It's a pretty lucrative deal for CW, though. CW might push back on that. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, you think CW would push back? Why? Because I mean, they get to put on Netflix right away after the season's over. Why does CW care?
Well, because I think the deal that they have with Netflix makes them a lot of money. I think it's a pretty.
Oh, do you think
deal.
CW gets some of that money rather than just wouldn't Warner's just get the money?
I
mean, we have no idea. To be honest with you, obviously.
Yeah, no. I imagine CW has to be somewhat involved because they also have their video on demand service too, and they have to coordinate that stuff.
Yeah. That's where I watch them. I always watch them on CW's site, actually.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how that works out. I don't know. We'll see. Well, I hope Marvel doesn't do it though, because if this works, then Marvel's going to do the same thing.
Yeah, it actually is interesting that DC's finally got the jump on Marvel.
They do. Well, I mean, Disney's working on their streaming platform. They haven't talked like.
Oh, that's why Marvel won't do it because it'll fall under Disney.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do. But if DC can pull this off and it works, then Disney might think maybe we should do that too with Marvel. I don't know. We'll see.
And actually, really, the only thing DC didn't have the jump on Marvel is the movies. The movies is where obviously Marvel's really had a big jump start. I mean, I think DC animated was way ahead of Marvel actually.
Yeah, I still think.
And their TV as well.
Yeah, they've always been really good. DC's always done a fantastic job in their animation. So
yeah,
they just haven't quite got a cinematic universe together yet. So
let's Let me. There's a bunch of stuff going on in the chat here. Listeners, first off, Raisa had said that gorilla you were talking about is Monsieur Malat.
That's right.
Brain Malat is a gorilla, she says. I don't know. But yes, I guess he's French. Let me see here. Listeners made it said, I don't know if I'm going to get DC Universe. I already subscribed to CBS All Access, Amazon Prime, Netflix, Project Alpha by Geek and Sundry. I really can't afford anything else. I mean, yeah, and that's we've talked about this before. That's what's going to come down to. I mean, everybody's going to start doing this. You're going to have to start picking and choosing, I guess, what's the ones you want the most, right?
Yeah. A lot of people get HBO also, and a lot of other stuff.
Hulu, Hulu, they get too. Maria says, I'm an Amazon Prime Video and Netflix gal, and she says, I agree with Jeff. I would want all the past content on the DC service, she means. And she says, thank you guys for the screenshot, too, of the DC sites. I didn't realize they were doing that. It should have everything to make it worth it. Listener's Mate says, to me, CBS All Access is worth the $10 a month. I love all the CBS comedies and some of the shows on the network. Plus, I'm a fan of Doug Jones, who's on Star Trek Discovery. There you go. All right, I'm just scrolling through this. All right, cool. Thank you, everybody, for Mala and the Brain. Sorry, that was the name. Mala is the gorilla, I guess, or the ape, and the Brain was the name of the brain. All right.
Yeah, they got some weird villains on Doom Patrol. It's a weird series. What was I gonna say? Oh well, I forgot now.
So, Maria in the YouTube chat says Sprint offers Hulu now free to Sprint customers. Actually, I found a lot of the phone companies are either Hulu or Netflix. They're offering that as like if you sign up with them, you get like free Netflix or Hulu as part of their service.
Yeah, which is interesting. That's cool.
So anyway, well, if I get the beta, I'm totally going to check it out. Obviously, the DC service. I think I probably would try it out anyway, at least maybe for a month. Well, not until Titans is on. I'll try it. I'm not going to try it out before then because I don't want to like. I don't know if I would keep. I don't think I'm going to keep it all year long.
You can get hooked. You can be hooked.
Hooked on what? But even if it's, see, there's the thing. Even if I like to love Titans, Titans is only going to run for a certain amount of episodes. You know.
Then it'll be Doom Patrol. You're gonna have something going all the time.
Is Doom Patrol live action?
Yeah.
All right. And Swamp Thing's live action.
Spin out of Titans.
And Swamp Thing's live action.
Yep. It's the first Swamp Thing live action since the
90s.
HBO show, I think. Back in.
Well, wait, that was HBO.
I think it was.
I thought it was because it's on actually the Heroes and Icons channel where they show all that older stuff. I thought it was a syndicated show, I guess, for some reason.
I do.
It does. It looks. It's so bad though. You're sure it's HBO? It's really HBO.
Or some pay cable channel. I thought.
I didn't think it was. I thought it was like a free because it wasn't very good.
I don't know.
Not that everything on pay cable is great.
Well, I mean, it wasn't. It was older back in the day. I mean,
I'm not saying it was terrible, but it's not great.
It took Swamp Thing a while to. Not Swamp Thing. It took HBO. You know, HBO didn't start out of the gate with the greatest shows.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find out.
All right. Yes, you're doing some research. All right. Good. I mean, yes, that is smart though. That obviously they should stagger the shows so there is something new pretty much the whole year. That's how you keep people subscribing.
I was really wrong. It was USA Network.
USA?
It was a cable channel, but not a pay cable.
Yeah. All right. I got something right. All right.
It makes sense. It was HBO. It had a lot more nudity.
Well, Swamp Thing was naked.
Yes, he was.
Covered in slime and algae or whatever.
That's why everybody's like, no!
Right. That's why they actually stayed away from the swamp. All right. All right, folks. Well, we'll see. I don't know. It's so that this is not very, of course, and I don't know what the fall means. Like that's still a very obscure release date. Actually, just saying the fall, but
it is really obscure. I'm kind of surprised they're not more specific at this point. Probably giving themselves some wiggle room in case they have technical problems.
Yeah, maybe with the beta, they give them some room for changing things.
Yeah, it's hard to do major online platforms like that. You know, it's real buggy at first.
Mm-hmm. I will say the trailer, which is on their site there, though, it looks really slick. They have a nice trailer for their service, though.
Yeah. I hope it works out. The comic book element really makes me curious. I don't think I've seen that yet, where we're mixing mediums like that in a streaming platform. So that could be, they could start all sorts of stuff. Plus, speaking of that, I've seen where Netflix has been starting to make comic books and such. So I wonder if they're going to play around with that too.
Oh, interesting. I do agree with you. That actually is a nice bonus and might actually make me want to do the service more if I get free comics as part of it.
Yeah. I don't read comic books very much anymore because
I never do anymore.
It's too expensive.
Yeah, I would buy them and then I would just never get to read them and they would just sit around. I'm like, I'm wasting money, you know. And
it's pretty pricey. I don't know how much they cost now, but I mean,
standard price is usually about $4.
$4, man.
Now, DC though, see, here's the thing: it's weird. DC often does $3 for most of theirs, but Marvel is pretty much always $4.
It's expensive.
They can go up more if it's a bigger issue. They can go up even higher, obviously. I know it is though, like $4.
It's a rich man's game now. I remember once upon a time when it was just a quarter.
All right. So, all right, there you go, folks. All right. Oh, Maria Duran just mentioned Sling TV does a good job with you getting to a package to pick and choose. I see that as the future. We all want personalization. I actually got rid of my cable and I have Sling TV. I love it. It's great. I pay $25 a month, man, and I get like 40 plus channels. And they're the ones I want to watch. And yes, you can add on other channels like that you want for extra money if you want.
That's what I like to. I hate you pay for cable and then you got like half the channels you don't watch. Just like I don't care about those, you know, or more than half.
More than half, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what the cable that's what the cable companies want you. That's how they get you.
Yeah.
Maria in the YouTube chat says, I remember the 25-cent price for comics. See, I remember I had a Captain America that was like 30 cents, so I do remember that. But
I know those were affordable prices for kids. I don't know how kids can talk their parents into giving them enough money for.
I mean, obviously there's been inflation, but I think what you're saying is the price is more than what I think salaries have increased. Maybe is what we're saying, right?
I would hope. I don't think people are making 4 times the amount of money that we used to be, or 8 times.
More than 4 times, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right, because here's the thing: 10 comics, that's $40. That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. Yeah, and it's and then you have, and this is part of the problem too, is that they have so many books in the same universe. If you're really a fan, you kind of want to try to get them all, but you can't do that unless you got not anymore. If you got at least at one point DC had 52 titles. How much money? I mean, that's a lot of money every month to try to keep up with all that.
It is.
So,
I remember when they
heaven forbid you want to read Marvel or any independent books.
I remember they actually back several years ago they actually did a series called Just 52. This is before the new 52, where they released a comic every week so it was like 52 issues in the year.
Yeah,
and that was cool though. I actually got every single one of those, and they had multiple storylines going on like throughout all of them. I mean, some of them were better than others storylines, but it was cool. I like that. And it was very ambitious too, to do that every single week.
It was.
But yeah, man, I used to get like 4 different Spider-Man comics when there was 4 different titles when I was a kid. I remember when they released the X-Men, they had Uncanny X-Men, but then they had a new X-Men series just called X-Men in the 90s. They had like 5 different variant covers, and I got them all to put them all together and stuff. Like,
I know, right?
Like back then, I did all that stuff.
Now they
were like $1 that time each.
Yeah, and I know that they increased the quality of the paper and such. That's part of the reason why it went up, but it's a little too high, I think. I don't understand how. I'd be really curious to see like if there's ever a study of what age demographics and salary income of people that buy how many comic books they buy now. I don't see how anybody can do it.
Yeah, well, I think they're probably pretty. Usually, people probably have a higher income who buy comics.
I would think so.
I mean, not everybody, but as like an average, I would say. Or
yeah.
In the chat, we have people talking about comics. Maria Durant says, and all the great big guides where they would go into great depth over each character, what they do, what issues they were in. That was my entertainment. Yeah, I actually have a DC like encyclopedia from years ago.
Yeah, DC's Who's Who books. Those are good.
Oh, nice. So Listener's Mate says, I remember in the late 80s, early 90s, I could go to the comic bookstore and buy back issues for $1 each. About 80% of my comic book collection I got that way. That actually is a smart way to do it. Even comic book stores now, like my local one, you go and the back issues are 50% off or more, Or graphic novels actually you can get for 50% off.
I think that's about the only way you can do it anymore.
Yeah. Oh, that's really the thing to do. What I would do, if anything, is I would wait till they came out as a trade, where they would, usually between like 5 and 7 issues, they'll release as a trade paperback. Mm-hmm. When you buy it that way, it usually works out to be like $1 to $2 per issue. Like that's actually affordable. Like that's what I would usually do, and then I could actually just read them all at once. The arc.
Yeah, I started getting back into comic books, reading comic books. At one point, whenever remember Cross Gen? You ever read any of that?
I remember that. What was it?
It was a new universe that they had. It had multiple
was it DC?
genres. No, it was an independent thing. And so I got into Cross Gen and I got into Ultimate Marvel because it was a brand new reboot thing, right? So that's when I started buying trades for a while. And then Cross Gen went bankrupt and they never finished the big story arc. And I got all ticked off. And
that sucks.
And then Ultimate Marvel had Ultimatum, which was total crap. And then I was just like, forget it. I'm not buying these anymore. So yeah.
Well, that's a sad story, but all right.
It's a very sad story.
Yeah. But yeah, no, man, we will talk about Supergirl in a minute, folks. But by the way, in the live chat, YouTube, Maria says, I love those two, Mark, meaning the Who's Who, the DC stuff that you talked about.
Cool.
Listener's Mate says, I have a lot of Marvel comics from the 70s, 80s, from when I was collecting comic books. Some of them are worth $60 to $200 now. I bet they are. I wish I kept mine in better condition. Like some of them are, I've actually boxed and boarded, but most of them I didn't, unfortunately.
Yeah, I did. When I was really young, I did not. I mean, I used to put them in a plastic, used to put them in a trash bag and carry them with me. Like when I would go with my grandparents or something, I would just carry them in that and like, okay, I read the comic books and stuff. And it's like, what was I thinking back then?
Well, it's kind of weird when you think about it. I mean, you think about like a magazine. Nobody thinks about preserving a magazine in pristine condition, like Entertainment Weekly, and it's going to be worth a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. But comics, they usually do. They usually do increase in value. Not all of them do, but some of them increase in value by quite a lot, obviously.
You don't think about that when you're a little kid.
No, so. like all my Star Wars toys. I sold my garage sale. God damn it. I'm so pissed off at that. I had so many Star Wars, like, back in the day. I have no idea what I was going to say. Oh, I was just saying, besides Marvel and DC, yeah, I used to love reading like Image and Top Cow and other places.
Oh, yeah.
Like Gen 13. I love that series.
I bought all the Image comic books when they first came out.
Wildcats, and Spawn, right, was was like the first Image one, maybe, or one of the first things.
Yeah, it might have been the first. No, I think Youngblood was very first.
Okay, Rob Liefeld, right? I think did that.
Yeah,
McFarlane,
of course, that was the very first one.
That's the thing. Image was like a bunch of those top creators, right? Like Liefeld and McFarlane getting together, basically. I think, right? Like we're gonna make our own company.
Yeah, that's cool. Image is still a cool company. It's good for independent creators. But yeah, I loved a lot of those books. I was ashamed that the shared superhero universe kind of fell apart over time. Because the creators kind of broke up and stuff, but just as an overall great way to get that exposure for creators, independent creators, I think it's great that we have that.
Absolutely. Maria in YouTube chat says, I kept my Star Wars stuff from 1977. It's in mint condition. Magazines, playbills from the movie. My kids are super impressed. I'm super impressed. That's amazing. You are very smart, Maria, to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, Maria, now that you said that, I need to go see your Star Wars collection. So
yeah, I want to see this.
Yeah, well, I see Maria every year at San Diego, so I need to see some of her. Though you don't need to bring it there; you can keep it in your vault or wherever you keep it.
That might be a hassle on the airplane.
Yeah. All right, so there you go, folks. We talked Wonder Woman 1984 in the new DC streaming service. Again, if you're watching in post, you can share your comments in the comment section or on Twitter at Super Geeked Up. Now, sorry, I'm losing my voice. Now it's time to talk about Supergirl. Thank you. That's the new theme song, folks, for season 4. Composed by Marx. Maria says, you would love the magazines and trading cards for Star Wars. Oh, yes, I would. Anyway, Maria or anybody else, they are now getting into spoiler territory because we're going to talk about the last few episodes of season 3. So if you're not caught up, you may want to just look at our faces and not listen. I don't know why you would want to
just mute and just look at us and pretend you know what we're saying.
Maria says about Star Wars, she said, right, I don't want to take it out of my safe cave. Oh, good. A cave is a good place to store the Star Wars stuff, too, yeah. Like a bat cave or something.
Yeah. Or Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah, oh, that's a good idea. Up in, is that in the Arctic or Antarctica? Did we ever find out?
I want to say the Arctic.
I want to say the Arctic, too. I think it's north. All right, anyway. So, yes, we're going to talk about Supergirl. So there have been, so Maria says, yes, I have to step out so I don't get spoiled. Have fun. Thank you, Maria. Thank you for watching very much. Appreciate it. And thank you, Raisa and Listeners Mate, for watching as well.
Thank you.
So the episodes, we did our show a month ago. So there have been 4 episodes since then. They are called wow, what the hell, man? I don't know what's happening with my voice. I get too excited about DC streaming service and comic books.
I can't wait to talk about Supergirl.
All right. They're called Dark Side of the Moon, Not Kansas, Make It Rain. Oh, boy. That's your favorite one, I'm sure, because of the pun. And,
almost as good as Shot Through the Heart.
Yes, almost. And Battles Lost and Won, which was the season finale. So Race is already chatting about Supergirl. She says they need to streamline Supergirl, too many subplots. And Epps' finale was jammed, nothing breathed. She says Argo should have been season-long plot. Okay, cool. Thank you for those comments. So, what? Here, I'm gonna leave the screen, folks. But I still got my headset on. I'm gonna get some water so I can talk. But what we got a bunch of stuff to talk about here. You want to talk about, I guess, maybe the episodes leading up to the finale? Like, what did you... Actually, why don't we talk about Argo? And so we found out that Kara's mother and some of the Kryptonians are still alive, right? What did you think about that?
Yeah, I was a little surprised they went there with it this season. It did seem a little out of the blue to have them appear, especially her mom. I'm kind of
I
like...
totally didn't expect that to happen.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like, how come they haven't contacted anybody this entire time? It's kind of weird, but oh well.
Like, oh well.
But it did pay off. Like, I was like going, why did they bother to cast that actress?
Erica Durance.
Yeah, for the part of her mother, if she's barely in it, she's dead and she's going to be a hologram or something. Like, that's kind of weird. I would just kind of just not use that hologram anymore, But now that pays it off to why they did that, because she appeared later on as being alive. So it was kind of cool to see that actress who played Lois Lane in Smallville being kind of in a superhero-ish outfit. At least a Kryptonian outfit, kind of having powers. It's kind of neat.
Yeah. By the way, is my audio still okay? Sometimes it goes weird when I leave.
I think it sounds good to me.
All right, cool. In the chat, listeners made it said you turned into Peter Brady there for a second. There's the episode of Brady Bunch where Peter, like, his voice cracks as he's going through puberty. That is what. Yeah, I'm going through like a second puberty. It was so much fun the first time. Anyway. It was nice to see Erica Durance because I loved her. She's my favorite Lois Lane ever. Loved her on Smallville. Yeah, it's interesting. It's always difficult, and I had to go through this myself with Super Knocked Up. We had to recast lead actress, and I know so it's always tough when you're used to someone in the role, right, and getting used to a new actor. By the end of this season, though, I had made that switch. Like, that was good though. So like now Erica Durance is the mother for me.
Yeah.
Because when we first started the beginning of the season, I was still thinking of the other actress as the mom. So that was good. And I agree. I like that they finally got her out of the blue dress. It's like that's the only outfit she ever owns. And so they put her in it was a cool, kind of red, more superhero-y type, whatever, right thing.
Yeah, the S emblem on there.
That was cool. Yeah, I like that.
She needs cape.
Cape?
Yep,
cape tricks. That's the key to defeating all the villains. Cape tricks.
Oh, yeah. That's the new superpower unlocked feature this season.
That's all the Justice League need to do to defeat Steppenwolf. Just do cape tricks.
Yeah.
So that was, it was kind of cool to see Argo. I guess one thing is, though, it worked okay, but I guess it seemed to me like there would have been a bigger deal about finding her mom again. It didn't seem like it was quite as emotional as I might have expected it to be. And I feel that maybe there wasn't I don't know, I would have liked to see maybe a little more chemistry between them as well. And again, I'm a filmmaker, we're both filmmakers, so I never like criticizing any actor. And so I'm not trying to criticize Melissa Benoist, who I think, again, first season, I loved her as Supergirl. She was perfect. That's why I kept watching the show, just for her. And really, I have a bigger problem, I think, with what the writing of her character. It's not really what she's doing. But I don't know. I feel like, unfortunately, I don't find she has a lot of chemistry with a lot of the actors in the show. It's not that it's bad, but it's not just as good as some other things. Like with Grant Gustin, she has amazing chemistry.
Yeah.
And maybe somebody has said in the past, Grant just has great chemistry with everybody. Maybe that's the case because he's awesome, I don't know. Raisa, by the way, says agreed. No chemistry or emotion, Argo plot. I don't know. Go ahead. And again, I'm not trying to criticize Melissa Benoist because I've seen her other stuff. She's a good actress.
Yeah, I'm going to tweet out, Jeff hates her.
I don't at all. That's why I hate even saying this, but chemistry is a big deal for relationships and stuff.
I think part of it is just it was so kind of shoehorned in there near the end that I was just like, this is kind of a big reveal. There's a lot of stuff you can play with on this, and she was barely there, and they didn't have a lot of time to talk, and they're too busy like trying to fight the world killers and deal with Mon-El kind of pining after her a little bit, and that potential relationship, and and the tension between her and Lena, and that kind of stuff. I mean, there just wasn't much time to really give to it. I think that's part of it. They didn't give a lot of scenes for them to really develop chemistry, like the chemistry that Martian Manhunter and his dad had. That had a really good chemistry.
Yeah, that's a great point. By the way, Jesus Christ, my voice, man.
It's Pestilence. Pestilence got you. Do you have a scratch anywhere on you?
Let me check. Oh, shit. All right. Kerry Johnson just joined us in the chat. Hello, Kerry. I'm glad you could watch this because he sent me his thoughts on Supergirl earlier on Twitter. I didn't know if he was going to be able to make it. Raisa says, plotting was odd this season, pacing even weirder. Listeners Mate says, I didn't like how Supergirl handled the subject of terrorism. There was that episode where all the leftover Kryptonians couldn't believe that any other people could do such an act. Really? Don't you know? Well, hey, all Kryptonians are perfect, except the evil ones. Raisa says, Martian plot the best this season. So that was great. I agree. And like you were just talking about, the John and his dad, that was just awesome. A lot of really emotional, poignant stuff there. Carl Lumbly, who we had on our show back in November, I believe, or October. Uh-huh. He's just a great actor. He's so awesome. And so I think he just left a lot of gravitas, a lot of just emotion, and he really brought to the role and that story.
Yeah, and the whole like him getting sick and having that dementia type of thing, to eventually having to pass away and giving his memories, and we see the memory, like the earliest memory of the Martians. That was pretty cool. All that stuff was good. The only complaint I have is how they shoehorned it into the major plot with how he sacrificed his life. I didn't think that made any sense, but that just the logic of it, of how he did it. Well, I don't even know what he did exactly. That was kind of weird.
Well, somehow he kind of became one with the planet or something, I think. I gotta like.
Is he Martian Man? Is he Swamp Thing now?
Yes, but it's not just swamps; it's the whole planet.
It's not that green we're talking about. I'm one with the green.
I kind of liked it though, actually, that his sacrifice was also able to like help save the world. I kind of like that.
I do. I all of that. I don't have a problem with any of that. It's just the logic of how he did it, supposedly, kind of made me like go, what? Did that? I looked him over and was like, did that sentence make any sense to you whatsoever? So that was my problem. That
was great. And like, not even the stuff with David Harewood, who plays Jean, but Kyler Lee, who plays Alex. Like there was such emotional stuff with her and Marin too,
yeah.
And when he got to say, the goodbye to her and seriously, Kyler Lee has been one of my favorite actresses. Like she is amazing. I've said this before, but she may be like my favorite character of any superhero show now. She's way up there, if not number one, like of anybody. Like she's such a well-rounded, like amazing character.
Yeah, she might be my favorite on that show. So.
Oh, easily on that show. I'm going to say probably the favorite of any of these shows currently on air on the CW. And maybe even beyond that. Fantastic.
Yeah. So given her a lot of good material. She gave her a great relationship and a great, a tragic breakup, and desire that they're sort of semi-adopting that Ruby for a little while, and then the whole thing with Martian Manhunter and his dad and stuff. And there's a lot of good material there for an actor.
Absolutely. And you're right, with her and like Maggie and other stuff, and with Jean and his dad, you're right that they did give time throughout the season for that to develop. And maybe that was the issue with the chemistry that I have, is that the mom, Kara and her mom thing was so rushed. Or like, well, compare it to the other stuff, right?
I mean, what are you talking about? You're talking about like only the last 4 episodes, right? Is whenever she popped in. Yeah. I mean, that's right at the peak of where all this stuff's going down with Rain, and then the witches, and you have other, you have stuff going on with Marshmaller's dad, and I mean, there's just a lot of stuff to deal in 4 episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it would have been nice to have just more Kara mom moments, like. But you're right, because they were trying to fit so much stuff in. They didn't feel that they had the time. I'm sure.
Maybe they'll have her back next season, and they'll do a little bit more.
Yeah.
Plotline.
Well, that's another thing. Like, I get it, and I get why they have to do this for the show. But after you find your mom, so what is it? I think she was about 9 or 11 or something when she went to Earth. So it's been let's say 15 years or so since she's seen her mom. But now after she finds her again, it's like, okay, but nope, I'm not gonna see you later, Mom. Go back to Argo, and I'm gonna hang out here on Earth. I don't know. It seems like I don't know if that's. I mean, I get it, why, but it still is a little weird.
You can never move back home. I think it's just because if she moves there, she's essentially retired as a superhero, right?
Yeah.
And she's still young at being a superhero and wants to be that. It's kind of hard to go back.
And the mom's kind of, I guess, like a leader over in Argo, right? So she can't really leave. And
yeah.
So I get it. It makes sense.
There's no reason why they can't still see each other occasionally.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't just forget about it. I doubt they will, because her mom's been reappearing a lot throughout this series. So they'll probably keep her around doing something.
All right. So I got the 15 years part. That's how long it's been, Raisa says in the chat, but she says she was 13 when she got on Earth. Okay, thank you, Raisa. All right.
So she's 28 now?
Sounds about right. A lot of these characters, I think, are around 25 when the season shows start.
So did she go to college?
You know what? We never found that out.
Yeah.
Because she's after college when we pick up with her. She's at Catco. So we have no idea if she has a degree. You would think so, right? Maybe. That's interesting. I wonder what.
Seems like there's a big gap there between her leaving.
We need some more flashbacks.
Yeah, we need more flashbacks. Let's have a whole season of 5 years of flashbacks. We need to know what happened.
I know we complained about that with Arrow, but I actually love the Kara and Alex teen episode. I wouldn't mind seeing, 1 or 2 more of those a season.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. That'd be a nice yearly thing for them to do, like flashback to that.
Because was that this season or last year? I can't even remember. Was it early this year, I want to say, I think?
It was this year, because they'd travel back because of her. She was so, devastated from the breakup. Yes,
and we see that. And the guy, that cop guy who killed the kid, he comes in one of these episodes, these late episodes in the season. Remember Alex thinks he's trying to kill her?
Oh, yeah, from the Dark Side of the Moon episode, I guess.
Yeah, because it was the guy from back in the teenage times.
Yeah. I guess so. I wasn't sure if that was the same person or not, because it feels like so long. But that makes sense. But that doesn't make sense, because they were that was my first case I solved.
Well, technically, yeah, because she was a teenager, so she wasn't anything then at that point. She's considering that a case, it's not really a case, but it's her Nancy Drew, Hardy Boys type.
Yeah. They had a lot of cases back then in high school. They're like Riverdale.
That's what I do. I'm telling you, man. I would watch a show that was just teenage Kara and Alex solving crimes.
Well, they were perfectly cast. Those actors were.
They're so good. That's why I want to see them again.
Yeah.
I would watch that show. Get fucking rid of Riverdale and put the show on the air. I know that.
Riverdale's okay. I don't mind Riverdale.
I know you like it. I actually think it's one of their top-rated shows, so it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Oh, did you hear Julie saying? She shouted, "I like Riverdale."
Right, I know the peanut gallery there is getting in. Anyway, in the chat, Carrie wants to know, how much did the start of the season hurt the storytelling, especially in the second half of the season? Reza says the break was awful. And then Carrie says, Supergirl, the college years. Lister's Mate says, yes, she did go to college. Kara made a reference to it when she was talking to Alex in an episode. She said, Kara made it out that Alex and her went to college together. Huh. Okay, so now I got to think. Alex is supposed to be, I think, 3 years older than Kara, because I think she was 15 or 16, 2 or 3 years older, I think. But somebody confirmed that for me. They could have went to college together. That's possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
Anyway, let's talk about Carrie's question. So I think he means when they actually had 2, really. I mean, there was like 2 hiatuses almost, right? Well, I guess a short one around the holidays that they all do. But then in April, they took kind of the long one.
Yeah, they gave Legends of Tomorrow the slot.
Right.
Right? Or is it Black
Lightning? One of them. I think it was Legends.
Yeah.
And then they came back in, I guess, May, and then went through June. One thing that was nice, I actually liked having one of the shows to watch after all the other ones ended. That was kind of nice, having something to watch still. So I didn't mind. For me, it didn't hurt really at all. But I don't know. I guess, do you feel it hurt their storytelling at all, or the pacing of the show? Or
I don't think it really did, actually. I don't think it did.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was okay with it.
Just in the sense that maybe I can't remember some of the earliest episodes as well, but I still remembered all the rain-related things whenever they started back up, and it wasn't that hard to get back into it. Plus, you can binge it on Netflix now. So.
No, that's true. You can now. You're right. Because as soon as they end their thing, they put it up.
Yeah.
Raisa says in the chat, Kara was separated from Alex during Alex's college. They had to Skype mentioned before Kara left for Argo. Oh, right. In the finale or somewhere, there was that thing about how when they went away to college, they were separated because they were talking about like how when Kara thought she was going to move to Argo or something, how they would survive.
What?
When Kara was talking about maybe moving to Argo, I think they were talking about how they would survive without each other. And Alex or someone of them mentions how when she went away to college, they had to Skype with each other. That's what Race is referencing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Huh. So what'd she have a degree in?
All right. So who, Kara? I don't. I have no idea. You would like to say journalism, but I don't think so because she didn't seem like to become a journalist till afterwards.
Yeah, and that's in part why didn't like her being into journalism because she didn't have any formal training and stuff.
It requires lots of education and training.
So,
I hear your wife.
Did you hear?
I heard your wife in the background there.
Yeah, it requires a lot of education. She was a journalism major. So.
That pisses me off.
What's funny is she can't hear you. She just hears me talking.
Right. So Francis, I see, is in our chat now. He was going to join us, but he was got stuck in traffic. Well, Francis, actually, hop on Skype if you want. We can still have you on the show now for the remaining parts of it.
Jump on. Unless you're naked, then I'll jump on.
Well, no, especially do it then. You really drive our ratings up.
Yes, I'm Swamp Thing.
That's right. All right, so I'm going to have to do some tech stuff here to get him on, but let's see. What's the next? What about good old Caramel, which is the ship name for Cara Mon-El. It's my favorite ship name, actually. So like you said, they kind of hinted at, they obviously made it obvious that he had feelings still for her, and, and there was a possibility maybe them getting back together. What did you think about that whole storyline?
I mean, I liked how they evolved Mon-El. Like he matured and became a hero of his own, and the whole Legion thing. I liked being married and having mixed feelings, which really didn't kick in until like halfway in. Like they were really staying away from that for a while. That part was it felt a little awkward in a way, because it felt like you're going to break up marriage now. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Even though you like Supergirl, but it's kind of weird now.
Oh yeah, you mean that? Yeah, that his marriage to Imbra ended basically.
Yeah, and that was kind of awkward feeling in a way. It was also awkward because they did a really good job, a really unexpected job of trying to not go that direction for quite a while. Being like, no, I moved on, blah blah. I'm sorry, I still like you and everything, but it's too, it's really moved on and stuff. And then like somewhere, I don't know where they shifted at off the top of my head, but he suddenly started getting all disgruntled, and they were starting to argue, and he's like, oh, I really want to be with her now, and I'm just like, it's kind of weird shift.
Yeah, And you can't see him yet, folks, but Francis has joined us. Hello, Francis.
Hello, Francis.
Hello. Hi, guys.
All right. Glad you can make it.
You threw on a shirt.
What? Yes, I had to put and I came, it looks like I came at the right time. You guys are talking about Supergirl.
Yes,
Yeah.
we had a very long discussion about DC streaming services and about comic books. So that's what we spent a lot of the show about so far.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all. By the way, folks, you're going to be able to see us again. I just got to reset up the streams here. But you can hear all of us. In the YouTube chat, Carrie Johnson says, I'm a reporter too. That's right. Carrie is a reporter.
Oh.
That's very cool. Yeah. And then Listener's Mate says, if Francis is naked, then it would really be an online friendship simulator.
Yeah, no, that's
That's one of Francis's shows, right? That he's referencing there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's all right.
All right. Sorry, Francis. He doesn't want to do it.
All right. So you guys are talking about Mon-El and Supergirl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Kept teasing that all season long again. They teased an affair, with Imra and Mon-El being married and him kind of having interest in Kara again. And then they tease it up until the very end and then nothing happens. Like they just drop it at the very end. It was really, really strange. And then Imra gets like the short end of the stick at this season finale. It was really strange. Like this whole season finale just weirded me out with how they put it all together. It was very weird.
Yeah, and I like Imra a lot. Like, I mean, dude, I would want to be married to her.
But they gave her like 2 scenes at the end of the episode. One where you think she dies, and one where, well, that's it, right? Oh, and one where she's using her powers to stop a tsunami, right? Those were like the 2 scenes she had.
Yes, you're right.
In the show. And then there's this whole discussion about going back to the future. And what did they do? They do nothing with her. She's gone. Like, did she die? Like, what happened to her? They never show her again, as if, who cares about Saturn Girl? Nobody needs to see her. Nobody cares.
They decided they're going to break up, I guess. And
what? They never discuss it, and they're going back together, right?
Yeah, I mean,
they're going back.
I got the opinion of like, they said some stuff and then they're like, well, we were always good in the league together though, right? And stuff. And yeah. And then Brainiac comes in and goes, you're smiling. That's not good. It's like, she didn't tell you, did she? You're supposed to, we need you to come back to the future and stuff. And then you never saw her again.
Yeah, they never again. Like, they just drop her as if, well, we could only afford her for about approximately 30 seconds in a 40-minute TV episode. Sorry, guys.
I mean, have you heard her accent? She's just too expensive.
Her accent's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, no, it sounds very expensive though. I'm just saying. And so,
in the live chat in YouTube, Carrie says it was sort of an arranged marriage, so no big deal.
Oh, sure.
No big deal.
It was an arranged marriage. That's right.
Yeah.
So I mean, there is.
So is Mon-El going back to the future to be alone now?
There is some of that. There is some of that. I think they're playing off of that, like, well, it was arranged, so they're trying to play it like that. Racist says, agree, Francis, very weird. Listener's Mate says, yeah, they didn't do Saturn Girl very good justice.
He's
You're right,
gonna,
it was. Oh, go ahead.
He's going to end up having a relationship with Triplet Girl and have a polygamy marriage.
With who?
Triplet Girl, Triple Girl, whatever her name is.
Who the hell is
Turn
that?
into 3. She can turn into three of herself.
Is that a Legion character?
Of course it is.
Oh, wait, are you making this up or is it real?
I'm pretty sure it's real.
Okay, all right. You're right, Francis. So they left it kind of very open-ended that they're going back to the future together, but they're not, I guess, married. Going to be married. I don't know. Who knows?
They never they never talked about it. They just kind of agreed. Like the last time those two were together, they just kind of agreed, like, yeah, you should go back and figure out your feelings for Kara, whatever. And he's like, yeah, I should. And nothing ever came from it. They just they teased it for two episodes. They tease it like, oh, are they gonna kiss? Oh, is he gonna cheat on his wife? Oh, what's gonna happen? And then I guess nothing happens. It just goes away. I guess I can't be here anymore, Supergirl. I gotta go back to the future. Get your kids, Marty.
They don't need him. They got Bouncing Boy. They're good.
You and Bouncing Boy. Oh man.
No.
Well, here's the thing. I like Manel. I actually even liked him last season. You know, a lot of people gave him a hard time, but I think this season he's super mature and awesome.
Yeah.
But you're right, I don't. That was just totally unnecessary to have the romantic thing with Kara again. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Particularly at the end, they're not going to get together, which is good. But then also you're basically not going to get together, and you're going to ruin a marriage. So what's the point of that?
Well, maybe because he's not going to be around much for the next season. They're just like, let's put him in there as much as we can because we know he's not going to be around. And Martian Manhunter is not going to be around much anymore either. We're like, we got to minimize all these characters a little bit and kind of close off their storylines and then move on with life. I guess what was happening. But yeah, I mean, it was super disappointing to kind of have that relationship build and do nothing with it. And then now Kara's stuck with this whole conundrum of like, well, my love is lost again because he left again.
Well, she didn't seem that broken up about it, though.
No.
Yeah, you gotta go.
I mean, she was somewhat, though. You could see it somewhat. It was subtle, which I like, but
But it wasn't not like before.
no,
it wasn't. Yeah.
Well, because they never really got back together, this time.
No, they never really got back together.
Uh,
That
and the-
was weird. It messed with the pacing of it all a lot and
Did.
got some awkward feelings. I'm like, I kind of want them back together again, but then it's kind of like they're breaking up a marriage, and I don't know what's going on really right now. I don't know how I feel.
I don't. Yeah.
Carrie in the chat says, "Did Wynn tell his mom he's going to the future?" You would think. I mean, that's an off-screen thing,
Toy Man's gonna go to the future after him.
Oh.
Ghost Toy Man.
Well, why don't we, since Carrie's created that segue, why don't we talk about Wynn? So, Jeremy Jordan will not be a regular next season. He will be there, I guess, a recurring kind of role, right? And Mark says it's because he and his wife are going to do some like Broadway or musical stuff. Is that the idea?
Yeah, some theater stuff. Yeah.
Theater stuff. Okay. So I mean, so absolutely, I respect that. That's and we know he could. He obviously he's done Broadway before and he could sing, and that's great. I'm definitely gonna miss him though because I love Wynn. I think he was a really key part of the show. So that's a bummer. I mean, it was a nice send off for him that everybody got the hug and say goodbye and stuff. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure how it's gonna work without him. I don't know if I really like Brainy as the Wynn replacement, to be honest with you. I'm not totally sold on Brainy.
I like Brainy.
Yeah, Brady's cool. I mean, like he's fine.
He is, but I have a feeling he can get obnoxious quickly if they don't do it quite right.
With his lack of understanding of human interaction and like, oh, is this how this works? Okay. Wait, speaking of aliens, though, whatever happened to Wynn's girlfriend? Whatever happened?
Right?
I was talking to Race on Twitter about that, and she just said like she's there. They just kind of haven't shown her.
Yeah.
They didn't break up. They were supposed to stay
So now he's
together,
gonna lose
but
his
never showed
girlfriend
again.
too. Jeez, that sucks.
Well,
She could have went with him. It'd been great. She
Yeah.
could have joined the Legion.
Yeah. Hey, she has powers, right? Yeah, she could have
Yeah.
done it. But I don't know. I mean, look, they were running out of things for him to do. He was kind of just window dressing. He was there to
Wynn
solve
was window dressing. Is that a Marx pun?
like when they went all non-lethal and all that stuff. I'm like, anyone could have done that, really. Anyone.
Oh, what? No, they could not have. Come on, get out of here. Wynn is a genius. Not everybody can go non-lethal, and like he created a force field around your whole body.
Which is cool. I thought that was actually really cool.
amazing.
Except it didn't work for that one, the one Asian character in the show.
That's only. I want to actually talk about him. That's only because 3 Kryptonians at the same time. Come on, It's amazing it could withstand 1 Kryptonian. That's a miracle.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, he couldn't have. I don't know. Could have done anything. I don't know. He could have done some kung fu.
You mean?
Sorry.
Well, here's where I think they totally messed that up. First off, I would love to see more Asian characters and Hispanic characters and other stuff on the shows, because I actually feel like movies and shows have done good about certain ethnicities and not as good about other ethnicities about making them more representative. But
Right.
that's a different topic.
Yeah, that's
Anyway, here's the thing about that character. We've seen him occasionally before, that guy. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't even remember his name. Because the problem is they wanted us, at least me, to care about that he died. And I didn't give a shit because they didn't do anything with that character. The only time we saw him, he would be like giving Win a hard time about some shit, right? Like, well, why do I... Oh, so first off, I don't really like this guy that much because he's giving Win shit. And you haven't told me anything about him, why I should care. He's just walking around the background, basically. But now it's supposed to be all broken up that he died. I'm like, no, I don't give a shit.
I think a lot of people died, didn't they? It seemed like a lot of people get hit by...
But they kind of focused on him, right? Because he's the one what is it, DEO? I can't remember. Agent that we actually know. Like, all the other people are totally, like, background. Like, we don't know anybody in the DEO, which is ridiculous, actually, outside of Alex and Jean and Win and Supergirl.
Bunch of red shirts.
Like, most of those shows would have at least given us a couple people, right, to care about.
Maybe.
But they don't.
I mean, it's not like Arrow has us care about anyone in that. What was the name of their organization again?
Argus.
Argus.
Yeah.
Well, no, but we have blah blah. Come on, his wife.
Yeah, but that's just like saying, well, we have John, and we have people in positions of power that we care about in the organizations, but like there are no Argus underlings that we care about in.
No, there's not.
Yeah, so
I mean, Argus only shows up every so often. The DEO is like every episode. That's their base of operations.
It's true. It should be like Stargate Atlantis and stuff where you had these reoccurring characters.
That's what I'm talking about. Or Deep Space Nine, where you had all these other characters that would show up, and you actually develop stories about them every so often.
Yeah, I mean, we had for like a very short time, we had this really large cast of characters. There was that bar with people in that bar. We had all of these different people who eventually just went away this season. Like this was the slicing of the fat, I guess, for Supergirl, and they just like, we don't need these people anymore. Win's girlfriend, she wasn't doing anything. Let's let her go. Like, I mean, it's just strange how they just dropped all of these different characters when they really actually meant something to character development. Like it meant something to these characters that we cared about, and then they just dropped them. I don't know. I mean, they need to change it up for the next season. I think this one was a really messy season. Overall,
I actually love this season. It's my favorite by far. I thought it was the best of all the shows.
Okay.
I mean, yes, I obviously, like any show, it has some of its things that didn't work as well, but I loved it.
Yeah. I think they had some really strong episodes, like the original cult episode they had, and the original Martian episode we had when they first went to Mars. There's some really strong ones in there.
There was that white Martian that we never see again. That was like the potential love interest for John, or there was I had another character in my head, and they again disappeared just like they did in the show. But like, the cult leader guy,
he goes back at the end.
Yeah, but then we don't know what. I mean, we assume he goes back with John's spaceship, right?
I think he just hit a signal alert.
Yeah, he was just alerting them.
He might have died.
We don't know if he died or what happened.
All right.
In the chat, first off, Raisa says, Martian subplot, what I'm looking forward to next year. Oh, that's interesting. Carrie says, does anyone else want to watch a show about Jean wandering the earth like Kane in Kung Fu? And then Raisa says, yeah, I do. And Carrie says, yeah, he answers his own question. Yes, I would absolutely do that. Watch that. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Cool.
It isn't, talk about Jean now. I remember I think the Justice League animated series, which we mentioned earlier, Marx, wasn't he, or at least he would like kind of disguise himself as different people, right? And would sometimes wander around.
Yeah. He did that at the end of one of the seasons, I think.
And that's part of like the history of his character, I think, right? That sometimes he does that.
No, there was a point in the story where he was like, I need to be amongst humans more. I forgot what motivated that. And he just went and did that for a while.
Maybe that's what they here.
It reminded me of that when they did this here, which is cool. However, I didn't expect him. I know Wynn was leaving. Is David Harewood though? Are they just doing a different storyline? You think with him, like Ray Sustain?
I think so. I don't think he's leaving.
I read I just read he wasn't going to be on as much. He's going to be there, but he's just not going to be a regular.
Because that's a lot of changes. If both him and Wynn are like not going to be, are in the DEO, that's a lot of changes.
I mean, you can do a lot with an Alex trying to learn how to be a leader storyline.
Oh, no. I'm 100% behind that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I was surprised by how much they shook things up at the end.
Yeah, who knows what with Jimmy Olsen and Guardian reveal,
Right.
Yeah, there's so much stuff they set up, actually, at the end of the season finale.
I don't know who would care. It's not like he has powers or anything.
So you're like, he does the reveal, and you're like, that's nice,
well,
whatever.
Unlike Arrow, he doesn't go around killing people, so it's not quite as legally problematic.
Yeah, he's the editor of the Catco Worldwide Media. Don't you think that's really important to know that he's Guardian?
Well, not anymore. Once you're
all the articles about the Guardian are conflicted now. It's like
that's when they start putting two and two together. It's like, wait a minute, Clark Kent writes a lot about Superman. Wait a minute, like they're gonna start making the connections.
Right? How does Peter Parker get all these photos of Spider-Man?
I'm kind of like going, why does Lena Luthor not know who Supergirl is by now? It's like all of her friends are involved in this world of Supergirl.
That'll be next. But look, with that big reveal at the very end of the episode, I'm fairly certain she'll learn next season who Supergirl really is. Like she has to now, right? Because there's two of them. Dun, dun, dun.
And Lena might go a little dark sidey too.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, she already is going there. Yeah, I think she's a, as much as she postures about, Luthers or this, she's a Luthor. So she's going to do.
Well, I mean, I've been predicting that for a long time, but I still don't think she's like her mother and Lex.
No.
But I mean, yes, I think it's just like with Smallville and Lex. It was really Clark's lack of trust in Lex that sent Lex, I think, down the road where he was Clark's enemy. And I think it's Kara's lack of trust in Lena that's sending Lena down the road where she's going to eventually be her enemy.
Well, I hope that just means we get the suit back, the Luthor suit back from the mom wore.
I thought it was so goofy though.
It's goofy, but you know what? It gives her powers. I think that'd be really, it'd be fun. I think it'd be just a little fun thing. I don't know, but.
By the way, Carrie says Catco stockholders will care about him being Guardian. There you go.
That's true. That's a good point.
By the way, Racist says David Harewood is staying as Jean. The Manhunter storyline is where they'll do social commentary according to interviews. Well, they do love to do their social commentary. Now, I will say it was much better this season. Last season we had a big problem with how heavy-handed it was. I thought they were much better this season. They didn't do it as much. They were more subtle about it. Not super subtle necessarily, but I'm not saying it was better than last year. And the way they did it,
they slipped up a little bit on the gun one.
So
really. Yeah. Now, see the one with we like the one with Jimmy and his story about when he was young and the racism thing.
Oh yeah, that was great.
But see, why do you guys think I actually like the gun violence one? You guys didn't like it? Maybe it's because we never want to get political here, but I agree very heavily with that stance they're taking. Maybe that's it, but I also agree with their stance on women's rights, and I felt they were way too heavy-handed last year about that. I don't know, like I was 100% behind them going like non-lethal. I was like, that's great. I think that's really cool, and that is a big move for him to make for like an organization like the DEO.
Except they're dealing with alien beings that can shoot fire beams out of their eyes and they can crush buildings. You'd think a little lethal force is okay against these creatures that cannot be stopped otherwise.
It's not really that lethal because it usually doesn't work anyway.
Yeah, I would argue though that those weapons aren't going to work against them anyway, so it's a moot point kind of. The weapons are really just working against more human people is what those weapons are. And what they're afraid of is not the DEO agents. He's that they're getting into other people's hands is what he was worried about.
Yeah, and look, I still think the message was a little too on the nose for that particular episode. But I mean, I get it. It was also a good way to transition into some probably even cooler tech and new ways of fighting villains and stuff like that. It'll be a fun way to see how they'll adapt new ways of doing that stuff, and it's a good excuse not to have to keep shooting pointless guns at people that never do anything to them anyway. So I guess, but yeah, I think, yeah, I mean, it wasn't, you're right. It wasn't, there weren't as many episodes that had kind of that social commentary. So that was nice. I mean, you know, as I like to say, I watch these shows to escape, not to be reminded of the stuff that I know is already pretty bad. You know, you want these shows, and that's why I kind of like how Arrow and Flash really do it. Is they occasionally dip their toe into those waters, but for the most part, it's something more ridiculous, like a dude who has magic or something. Like, okay, that's cool. Like, stick with that because it's supposed to be fantasy, but you know, it's fine.
When it's done well, it can be very powerful, and I love it. And again, I always go back to Star Trek, which I think did it better than almost anyone.
Yeah.
And
but they have a lethal option on their phasers. They can kill.
They do. But that Star Trek actually didn't usually tackle. Well, you got to keep a couple of things in mind. Gun violence has become a much more bigger thing presently than when any of those Star Trek series were on there, except the current one, Discovery, right?
Yeah.
And particularly when the original one was on, I mean, every show deals with the issues that are prevalent at the time that they're on. Even though they're looking into the future, they're commenting on the present day issues. Yeah. So it made sense because of particularly what happened with Parkland, in the school in Florida. I mean, actually, there's been a shooting every month, unfortunately.
Yeah. They're shooting today.
There was yes, you're right. And our thoughts go out to those. It was, I'm sorry, it was like, where was it in again? It wasn't a school.
It was a newspaper.
It was a newspaper. Yes, it was a newspaper, actually, you're right. Yes, our thoughts and prayers for everybody there, of course. But so it was a very timely episode that they did it this season because of what was happening. I feel that's why they did it.
Yeah, I agree, and I just think when you do that kind of stuff, you need to like try to show a few angles and not just get too far out. Like I think the DEO would have been more realistic if DEO was like, we're going to have a new initiative, and we're going to start moving towards new non-lethal weapons, and we're going to use lethal weapons in extreme circumstances, you know, that kind of thing. Exactly. Not like we're getting rid of all the guns, you know. It's that's a little too extreme, I think.
They're supposed to be protecting the earth.
And Julie's like yelling.
I know she's really passionate about
love it.
Supergirl here.
Great. But yeah, they're supposed to be protecting Earth, and if there's a galactic war, I would say it's a good pass to go ahead and use guns if necessary, if it works against them. Yeah, which doesn't seem to ever work against any of the aliens. They all have superpowers.
You never know. Be a point. There'll be a point. So
yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, because the shows that do this the best, and I think do look at both sides and make you really think about it. Like I know there's a lot of Star Trek episodes again. I watch them, and I have like I think on one side of the issue, but the way they present both, I actually have to think about it. Like, well, wait a minute, that's actually really interesting the way they're presenting the other side. I got to really actually think that over.
Oh yeah,
and maybe change my opinion or have it. And that's the best TV I think does that. It makes you consider both sides.
It doesn't shoot one way or another. It just makes you think and makes you determine what you believe, you know, based off of what, you know, your own experiences and your own feelings or whatever. It lets you decide, and it's not, the show's not forcing you like this is the only way to do things. Oh,
yeah.
No,
so that's great points, both of you and Mark, to bring that up, because you're right. It's giving you like the arena to like think about these things for yourself, and you're right. And the problem with Supergirl is that they don't really do that. You're still, even though it's better this season, you're right. They just like, we have a stance that we believe in, and we're gonna this is the way it should be, and we're just throwing this one side at you.
Yeah,
you're right, and they're not. Either they don't care about looking at both, or they don't have the same, you know, skill level as some of these other.
I think they have. I mean, it's going to sound bad when I say they have an agenda, but they do have. They have a message they want to send. Yeah. They're not. It's just a message they just want to send out, and that's fine. That's cool. You know, do your thing, Supergirl. But yeah, it's just they have a message.
And usually I agree with their message, but the thing is, I don't think you ever convince people on the other side by just throwing your side down their throat. Like the only way you possibly can convince them is actually by showing both of them and getting them to think critically about the situation.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
I agree. Like Arrow, last season, there was an episode with people going shooting guns crazy, and that was really stupid and really it just looked stupid. And then a few episodes later, they had a gun topic one where they actually showed both sides. They had, you know, different characters are like I'm pro gun. I'm not against. I'm against gun, or I'm against common sense stuff. Whatever. That was well done, and so that's you just got to try to show both sides, and because I've talked to creator people who are lean more towards gun rights, or maybe they're former military or whatever, and they've actually dropped watching Supergirl or Arrow because of those kind of episodes whenever they were too heavy-handed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
because
And that doesn't help anything, because then you're just pushing away people and not rather helping them think it through.
I'm not gonna lie. I'll after an episode, I'll do hashtag Supergirl on Twitter, and I look to see what people thought about an episode or whatever. And yeah, there's a lot of people who are just like, no, this is too much. And it does seem to people do seem to be dropping off a little bit from the show because of certain things that are happening, or certain messages that are trying to come across. But I think overall, again, luckily, like you said, it's not the vast majority of episodes. They have been sticking to a bigger plot, a bigger storyline. And I just think, just to go back to this whole Rain storyline thing, I don't know. It was mildly disappointing how it ended, how Rain ended.
So you guys, I'll be back in 1 second. Why don't you guys talk about that? Talk about the whole Rain storyline and how that ended up. I'll be right back.
All right.
What did you think of Rain's sword?
That was weird. Like,
it was a weird sword, wasn't it?
It was just weird that she needed one in the first place, and I was a little confused about what. I can't have a hard time remember John's dad's name. What he did with the Earth and
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. What did he do?
We talked about that. I was like, I love the whole arc with his dad, except for the logic behind how he supposedly stopped the Earth from just,
He became Earth. Is that what he became part of Earth? Was that what happened?
Earth super glue, basically.
Is that what he did? It's like, you know what? The Earth is falling apart. I'm going to be the adhesive that keeps it together. And that's his final wish. As if that was
just remember me. Just create a line of green super glue in my name. Good enough to hold the Earth together.
But yeah, like, I think as for Rain, though, like, it was mildly disappointing. There wasn't really a struggle between her and Samantha. They were ended up being two separate beings in the end, as if, well, the struggle wasn't real, and they were just two separate things all along. And there was that whole plot line of, well, if you become stronger, Rain will become weaker. But that never even played out either. Like, that didn't even. What happened to that? Did anything happen to that? I don't remember anything happening to that.
Yeah. Rain did not become weaker. Now, they did use the fountain on Rain to kill her, or trap her, I guess I should say. That whole dimensional weird thing, I never quite understood the logic behind that. Basically, most of my problems this season were logic stuff, where I'm just like, well, I'm really into sci-fi and everything, but like, I just don't. You need to work on technobabble, because this doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, and the thing is, they didn't even bother to kind of explain it. They just said, "Hey, there's this place." Well, what is this place? Well, it's just a place. Like, it's a place,
alternate reality that you go to, even though you're not physically there, but yet you can physically interact with everything. Right. And then, I'm like, what's happening?
And it would have been so bad if we didn't have a whole bit where when Supergirl was unconscious and then Brainiac had to go into her own mind to kind of get her out. It's like, is that the same thing? Is that the same plane? Like, wait a minute. Is that different? They don't. Yeah, they really struggled to kind of explain that whole thing off. And again, it was a little disappointing how they defeated Rain. Instead of like an ultimate team up, like a Justice League team up of some sort, they just said, okay, you know what, we're going to put everyone to sleep and kind of defeat her in this I can't even call it the Phantom Zone, because it isn't the Phantom Zone. It's just, here we are in this alternate plane. So I wasn't very impressed with that. I was a little disappointed.
Yeah, and that was after doing the time loop, right? Their time travel.
What was that? What was that time thing that she did? I don't know what happened. She went to space and then back in, like, what happened?
Yeah, like, I'm gonna go through, find me a whatever it's called, and I'm gonna go through it, and I'm gonna time travel, and And then she just pops back up in her original body. You know, she traveled mentally back, I guess, because her body. I mean, that's where they lost me. I was like, wait a minute. She just like, what happened to her old body? I mean, what just happened here?
I was kind of hoping she was going to do the Superman thing and go the opposite direction.
That's what it reminded me of, and I was cool with that. Except then when she disappeared, being choked by rain, I was like, that you just lost me now. It's like, do you people understand the difference between physical body and mental? It's like, because you're mishmashing them.
I think they were, they threw a lot of stuff. The writers threw a lot of stuff this season. Like,
yeah.
I'm glad Jeff liked it a lot. I'm glad Jeff really enjoyed this season, but I think they threw out too many things, expecting and too many weird kind of nonsensical things like that alternate reality and the time travel. Like they just threw a bunch of stuff out there, hoping something would stick, and it didn't. At least I didn't think it did. In the end, but overall, I think the final episode was fine, but it just didn't. It didn't resonate with me because it was so much nonsense. It was just so much nonsense going on all at the same time.
It was a pretty crazy episode. The finale was.
It was, and I didn't understand why Jimmy taking off his helmet when the woman's child was in the building was like, "Oh, you're some dude I don't know. I guess that makes me feel better that you're gonna run in and save my kid from a burning building." That none of it made sense to me. But good on Jimmy for
he's got his Tony Stark moment. I am Guardian.
Who? I wanted her response to be like, I don't know who you are. Thanks for letting me see your face, but I still don't know who you are. Yeah, because like who knows? How many people know the person who runs the Huffington Post or the New York Times? Nobody knows what they look like. So Jimmy takes off his helmet and your son will be safe. Some rando in a helmet is going to tell me my son is going to be safe. Okay.
Well, you mean it's not that she knows who he is, but she knows who Guardian is, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah. I guess.
I think it's supposed to humanize him. He pops it off.
It was
rather
the
than
humanity.
It's okay. I'm going to save your child. They're like, wait, it's all right.
Yeah. So imagine Batman is growling at you versus Bruce Wayne is talking to you as a normal person.
Well, Batman just slaps him and is stay there and then goes saves people. He doesn't unmask himself.
Well, I know he wouldn't unmask himself. Yeah.
He'd have punched the woman. Where is he? Where is he? And he's like, he's in the building.
But we were talking that we had trouble with some of the logic of the ending of the episode.
Of the finale?
Yeah, with the time travel and the logistics of he also had trouble with Marshall Mathers' father's the logic behind how he sacrificed himself.
Nah, I was fine with that. See, I don't know.
The super glue, as Marx put it. It's the super glue.
All these things. You always got to suspend disbelief, right? So,
yeah,
I know sometimes it's hard. Well, I don't know why. I guess for me that wasn't that of all the stuff they've done, that was not the worst by far. I guess of all these shows.
I didn't understand what Rain was doing exactly to the Earth and how that was working.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'll be honest with you, I didn't totally get that either. That part.
Yeah, and then I thought it was so bizarre when he's like slowing up the Earth and you see Rain going, "Oh!" and I was like, "What is happening?"
Somehow I made it out from.
It's like he's just like, "I will become the entire planet and seal it up."
Maybe he is. That's cool.
Maybe the planet's alive now. It's his dad.
Maybe he'll give birth to Captain Planet.
Maybe he's gonna his head will pop out of the ground like that vision from the past. He becomes some kind of deity.
Yeah. That was so. Anyway,
that was a little odd. That was there's another thing too. There was logic stuff, at least back in the 4 episodes ago, Dark Side of the Moon or whatever. Whenever Alex is fighting eventually who's trying to kill her. Remember, she's hanging from the rooftop and stuff. Mm-hmm. And she pulled out like a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon move.
It was ridiculous.
Like, what just happened?
It's her super suit.
Oh, that's right.
No, I know that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
That just
That
was
doesn't make
not.
any sense.
That was just not a really well shot.
I know Julie looked at me and was like, "What happened?" I go, "Oh well, what probably happened is she kind of reversed the polarity of the magnetic gloves and did that." I'm sure if we go back, I'm sure as the episode continues, they'll explain that they didn't do it. And I go, I'm sure if we go back and watch it, there'll be some kind of visual cue or audio cue. Nope. She just crouching tiger and dragon. Apparently, I don't know what's going on.
But hey, come on, it's Alex. She can do anything.
Yeah. I hope they're. I don't know. I'm excited for the next season. The introduction of. I mean, I guess what this is the Red Sun storyline, but with Supergirl instead.
Oh, is that why they keep? This is why people are like carrying the chat says, "I hope Red Daughter and Lena become besties." So that's the referring to the other version of Kara, I guess, as Red Daughter.
Yeah, because there's an alternate timeline where Clark is crash lands in Russia and the Russians raise Superman.
Oh, so this is that version of her.
Yeah, so she lands in I don't remember what country, but they dressed like they were from Russia. Right.
Oh, it wasn't Russia. Well, there you go, Marx. You're talking about the Russians in the Wonder Woman movie, so you got them here.
Yeah, so they're probably going to brainwash her. Or not necessarily brainwash her, but she'll.
Well, she could be. I mean, I think we're talking about Black Kryptonite, right? So
maybe
we've seen that turn people into good and bad versions of them and stuff, right? Isn't that what was in the Superman 3 movie or 4 or whatever it was? Super 3?
I remember. Oh, because he had a. You're right. It split Superman to regular Clark Kent and super evil Superman or whatever. Right. Yeah, I remember that.
I think that's what Black Kryptonite can do.
Is this version? So is this like Red version of her? Is it from an alternate timeline you're saying, or did somehow it get for what happened with Rain? She got split into two people.
It's from Rain.
Yeah, because they kind of explained how that dark. She got that one rock. I forget the name of the rock.
Yeah.
And they were struggling with that rock. You saw that dark cloud kind of flap into the sky. And I'm guessing just like how Rain was split from Samantha, Supergirl was split from an alternate Supergirl, I guess. I don't know how they're going to explain that off because technically,
but Kara still has her powers, right? So it didn't like
she still has her powers. Yeah.
So it didn't make her like just Kara versus.
I don't. You know what? I don't know how they'll explain it. If they even will, they'll just probably be like, "Hey, look, we." But didn't they already have a Bizarro Supergirl? Didn't we already do Bizarro?
Yeah. My favorite guy, what's his face from the first season, the scientist dude made her.
Oh, Max Lord.
Max Lord, yeah.
Oh, whatever happened? Whatever happened to the other guy, the Max Lord of this season?
Oh, they totally dropped him. You're right.
Yeah, they
completely dropped that, which is fine. I don't know why they even had him in the first place, but
they dropped him after he was supposedly trying to kill Lena. And
he went to jail. That's what happened.
Oh, that's right. He did go to jail. Yeah, that's why you don't see them or him for the rest of this. And what happened to Alex's dad? Whatever happened to him? Like, is he still roaming around?
He's missing.
Still? Oh,
he's roaming the earth, helping people. He's going to join Martian Manhunter.
He's going to join the father. Well, he's going to join the father with the earth, and
I'm not going to lie, that'd be amazing, actually, because they were friends in the past.
They
right?
were. Yeah, that would be cool, actually.
It might be kind of cool.
Maybe he'll find him on his journeys.
That would be amazing. That'd be amazing. I'd like that a lot. All right. Okay.
So. All right. So these guys didn't enjoy it as much as I did, but I'm going to definitely. There's a lot, I think, awesome stuff this season. I think the Rain storyline in general. I mean, the ending maybe was a little not the greatest thing ever, but I think the whole storyline worked quite well. The actress who played Sam and Rain, I think, was awesome. Did a great job. I even though you guys didn't like her at first, I love Ruby from the beginning. I think she was great because you guys hate kids.
I liked her. I grew to like her. At first, she was very annoying.
But I think she was really cool. Like I said, I mentioned this earlier. I love Alex is now my favorite character. Like of all these shows, I love what they did with her. I love Kyler Leigh who plays her. Jean and the father was an amazing storyline. That was fantastic. Super emotional. So I mean, overall, I think we always nitpick all this stuff, right? That's what we do. But I think overall, there's so much awesome stuff this season. By far, it was their best season for me. And like I said, I liked it best out of all the shows on the CW for DC stuff. Did we do people? I know listeners may have asked about will Lena and Jimmy stay together. I'm assuming they will. I mean, I think they have a nice relationship going on.
Till she goes evil.
See, I think that's going to be a very, kind of like Smallville, very subtle, slow thing. I don't think that's going to go like right away or anything next season.
I really hope she doesn't go full evil. I
don't think she will.
You know, it's kind of nice knowing that there's one Luthor that's just kind of there, you know, and has that is buddy with everybody. It's nice to have that. I don't know. I kind of like that storyline. So I hope they don't change her to all out evil.
I do know the black kryptonite might affect her.
Maybe
affect Lena.
Maybe
it shouldn't affect Lena. It should only affect Kryptonians.
Maybe she'll alter it and it'll cause an effect. Who knows?
You never know.
I do think that she's going to slowly keep kind of drifting away from Kara though, and Supergirl. Well, Supergirl, maybe not Kara so much, but
because the reveal will happen. So Supergirl will finally reveal who she is.
Well, that's going to do it, though. When that happens, that's going to be the thing that like totally says Lena was not going to be able to trust her at all.
And then they're going to have their own like civil war because who's Jimmy going to side with? And
well, I hope it's better than the Arrow Civil War, which was terrible last season.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
By the way, in the chat, Carrie says Adrian Pastor was busy on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. playing Graviton. That's the Maxwell Lord type guy you're talking.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right.
Yeah. He was a really good Graviton, actually. So good on him. He plays evil pretty well, actually. He's pretty good at that.
What do you guys think about? Actually, her name's not Tess. It's Miss Tessmacher, I guess, right? All of a sudden becoming a genius, or she's always been a genius and helping Lena.
It's kind of weird.
Well, Wynn was doing tech support for Catco, and apparently he's a genius too. So I mean, like,
oh, he was. You're right.
Apparently, Catco has very high standards of who they're going to hire as an assistant.
Yeah,
like, you gotta know your stuff.
So, like, it does. I think it's fine. You know.
Well, it's nice to have her actually give something to do for that character.
I thought she was fun. I thought she was funny. You know, she was comedic. I thought she was good for a laugh or two for whatever she was doing. So I don't mind that she's a genius. I just think you're right. It's just strange. PhD, huh? Great. You can get me coffee now. It's like, okay, if that's what it takes to get you coffee, here's my PhD. So I don't know.
Carrie had tweeted earlier that he says he liked the Supergirl finale. He hated that Kara didn't tell Cal about Argo City. And his predictions are that Lena and Red Daughter become besties.
Cal already knows. He's fine. Cal knew that was there. He never told Kara that it existed.
I know he did not. He would have told her if he knew. Well, I mean, that again would have happened off screen because I thought they did not use him at all this season. Which one of my predictions is going to be he will return for at least an episode next season.
Hope so.
Yeah, he'll text message her or something.
Oh, that was the worst in season 1 when they did that shit. I hated that.
They mentioned him though at the finale.
They did.
There's a news report about Superman.
Yeah,
he's Madagascar.
Right, because Jimmy's like, "Go, Clark," or something like that, or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like you go save the world. We're gonna save National City.
Right. You save the rest of the world.
You just saved the world. We got super glue. We got Martian super glue here.
I think they determined that Madagascar was like the polar opposite of National City, and that's why they went there. I think that's
yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know why you guys this is a problem with that. But
I'm with you, Marx. It's just there's some of it. Like, I'm willing to suspend my disbelief to a point. Like I already have to suspend my disbelief that Supergirl exists and that all of these other superheroes exist. But at the same time, you can't just tell me, hey, your last dying wish, father of Martian, is to become Earth. I mean, like
that wasn't his last dying wish. He wanted to just pass on his memories. He did that to save Earth because it's so important to his son. Plus, even if you don't like the way it was executed, the sentiment behind it, I think, is really nice.
No, yeah.
Yeah. That is, but it was hurt by a lack of logic, and it's a problem. It's like if I'm like, I'm going to save you, my son, from this bullet by
Becoming
eating the gun. I don't know, doing something really weird. You're just like, what just happened? And not choke and die from it. And you're just like, what?
Yeah. If they all they need is just a little tighter. I think tighter writing would just save so much of this of the show. I think would just turn it all the way around with just a little tighter writing. I
think all they got to do is make sure there's somebody in the writing staff that can come up with good technobabble.
Yeah.
That everybody can kind of go, okay, I can kind of buy that.
Yeah.
And then they need somebody to rein them in whenever they get a little too carried away with their viewpoints, get a little too preachy, and be like, let's tone it down a little bit, or let's show another side. If they can do those two things and keep up the quality they're doing, next season will be amazing.
So. Yeah, I agree.
Although I do think the writing is definitely each season it keeps improving, and so they're on the right track for sure.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I will. This is such a small thing, but since you guys, there's one thing that didn't work for me is that they've done it like a couple times now on Supergirl. They do it all the time on the other shows, but they've tried to do a couple Star Wars references, and it's such easy. It's usually such an easy thing to pull off. I've done it in my own writing, and like obviously most of us who are geeks like to put it in our writing, right? But like it doesn't work at all. I feel like when Kara says like take the shot, like you're all clear, kid, take the shot. Like it just was so like no, like that yuck.
Yeah,
like I didn't buy at all that she cares about Star Wars or is a fan. Like, why is Kara saying that? That's a Win should say that of anybody.
It's as cold as hot here.
I don't know why they should not put that. They shouldn't try to do that like in this show with her at least. Like it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe I don't know. For me, like there's one other time too. I just like that didn't work. Oh, she says like she says
Star Wars fan, Jeff.
Oh no, of course she can. I think that would be amazing if she was, but I don't think they've established that at all that she is. Like Cisco, I believe, would be like a huge Star Wars fan, right? On Flash.
Even Barry, right? Like Barry would totally be
Patty Spivot, a huge Star Wars fan, right?
Yes,
she loves that geeky stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, but like, I don't know. Or just the way she delivered it too is just like, it didn't work for me.
It's that they don't have. Well, they're losing the one person who has any pop culture reference at all, which is Win. Everyone else wouldn't have that pop culture kind of sphere around them, really. Like,
but maybe Brainy will try to do that and he'll just do it really horribly.
That could work.
He's the Data of. Yeah, I can see that actually.
Oh, yeah, man. I don't know. Anyway,
that's funny.
Well, she also at one point in the previous episode she said Yoda was wrong, and that pissed. I didn't like that either because Yoda's never wrong.
Yoda was wrong.
It was about the do or do not. There is no try.
Oh,
but again, that just kind of tells me, at least in my opinion, that the writers are not totally really getting what that was about in Star Wars. Like there's a much deeper level I feel to that scene in Star Wars, and like that line. Like if you really watch Empire, which because it's on so much, like and I've seen it a million times, obviously. I don't know. It was like that was. I don't think they get it.
I think no. I just think there was
pretend Star Wars fans.
Well, I was just thinking there was somebody there in the writers' room that said, you know what, we haven't done a reference yet. Just throw a Yoda reference in here, or throw like that's it. That's just like we haven't done a reference. Do one, hurry. I think that's it.
Yeah. I hope anyway, I know, this is just me being silly because I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but
that wasn't the Kevin Smith episode because that would. Really
I like how Jeff has no problem with the super glue saving the Earth, but it's like the Star Wars references are terrible.
The Star Wars.
Well, yeah, I brought it up because you guys kept harping on stuff. So like, fine, I'm gonna get to bring up something I didn't like.
I'll give it to you. That's fine.
Yes, I would prefer they get the Star Wars references right, and I'm okay with the super glue stuff.
All right.
All right. One last thing I want to bring up, at least with Supergirl, is so Alex taking over the DEO. Now, unlike Iris taking over Team Flash, which doesn't really make sense to me, I do think this makes 100% sense. Like, there's not really anybody who should take it over except her. I feel from Jean.
No one else for one thing.
and the other guy we did know died. The Asian guy died.
Right, exactly.
He was next in line. Oh.
You know what? Samantha's pretty good at a lot of stuff. You could just hired her and just brought her in. She could.
Oh yeah.
Work.
No, obviously Alex's number. It was the number 2 there.
Yeah.
And I think she's perfect role. I'm gonna kind of miss though her not being in the field. It sounds like as much. Like I'm gonna miss her kicking butt. And I also here's actually so speaking of logic police, like you like to do. So it makes sense that she wants to adopt. Obviously, that's been a big part of her wanting the kid. But she's talking to Jean about, like, I don't think I got to retire from doing this because I can't raise a kid. And he's like, no, you don't, because you're going to take over for me because I'm leaving. And I'm like, no, okay, no, that doesn't make sense. If really she became the head of DEO, she's going to have way more responsibility, way less time to raise a kid. Like that logic to me did not make sense. If someone who wants to raise a kid,
well, the idea was she would be in less danger. Although the problem is,
she's not.
Half the time the base is going to
yeah, exactly.
Everyone knows where it is.
Or the criminals get loose from their cells, right?
Oh my God, yeah, that's true.
So it doesn't really make sense when you think about it, but I'm sure they're going to do some nice storylines as like a working mother and balancing that and being a mom and stuff.
I guess.
She needs
in the chat, Carrie.
Interest,
what was that?
She needs a new love interest. I hate to see her I
don't think so.
Think so, yeah.
But Maggie was so perfect. I don't really want to see. It's like I have a hard time with her.
They're already
she
going
should be single for the rest of her life.
No, but if it's next season, I'm okay. Enough time has passed at that point. But
they're going to force a Kara relationship with somebody anyway, which is going to be brainy.
They shouldn't do that either. Kara should not be with anybody because they cannot do that right at all. Just forget.
They haven't done any of her relationships well.
No.
I remember the whole Jimmy Olsen courtship thing, and then they kissed, and she's like, "Hey, we should be friends."
Just have her have a vow of celibacy or something, or I don't know.
I don't know.
Super nun.
I spent the off season in a convent, and I'm a nun now.
Oh, God. She's the flying nun. There you go.
Oh,
get that reference, chat room.
I got it. I know what you mean. Carrie says, I don't know how leading the DEO gives her a better chance to be a mom. Leadership hours are terrible. Yep, as I was saying. I'm with you, Carrie. Lister's Mate says there wasn't any reference to Kat. Oh, yeah, she's gone. Forget it. She's at, which I'm fine with. I actually was thinking about how I didn't miss her at all, actually. So,
well, yeah. She did what she needed to do in those first, representing the president.
Well, that was season 2, wasn't it?
That was season 2, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we saw her at all this season.
I feel like we saw her on TV in the first.
I thought that was season 2. Was it this season?
I think it was.
They all blend together.
Yeah. Season 3 was the best of all. No,
it was. But certain elements, I can't keep track of everything that happens, obviously.
Of course.
Particularly in previous seasons where it's hard to remember what was what.
That's true. I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
I still think it was season 2, but
I'm hoping for a better season next season.
Well, you always want it to be better. That's what every show should be. It should keep getting better. Unfortunately, they don't always do that, but Arrow this past season.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Any last thoughts on Supergirl? All right, let's do this. Sorry if you do. Well, you bring them up if you do, but let's do a rating. Let's rate the finale and the season as a whole.
Okay.
So we do this out of 4 capes, folks, where 4 capes is the highest rating. You can do point systems as well, like decimals or whatever. So let's start with the season finale. What do you guys give that?
I'll give it a solid 3. I liked a lot of what happened. I just think that hashtag more screen time for Imra. Otherwise, I just like that the way that they kind of closed out a lot of the storylines. I didn't necessarily like the final battle, but everything else I really liked because they were closing out storylines, opening new ones, and that was really I think they did it really well. I think they did those parts pretty well.
So, all right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was reading the chat. Did you also give your season review or rating as well?
Well, I thought we were just going to do finale first.
Yeah, just finale. Okay, good. Yeah, we're on. Yeah, okay. Sorry. I just want to make sure I didn't miss it. In the chat, Listeners Mate said, Kat was in the very first episode of the season on TV working for the president. That's the only time we saw her. Okay, I couldn't remember if it was this one or the one before. All right, you guys got it. All right, Marks, for this season finale.
I would say 3 also, because I had problems with some of the logic of how they tied up the major conflict. But I did like that they tied up all the plot lines and shot them off a new, interesting direction. Like everything's going to change and go in some new ways. So that was interesting. But yeah, that's right. 3.
For the finale, I think I'll stick with you guys. I'll go with 3, even though I didn't have some of the same issues. But I think overall, you're right. Not everything was done at quite the high level that the rest of the season was. So, but it's good, still good. So I still enjoyed it. Lots of, just like you said, stuff that's going to be different in the next season that they set up. Reza gives it a 2.75 for the finale. So let's do the entire season as a whole now. Marx?
I think for the whole season, I'd give it maybe like a 3.75 or so. Maybe.
Oh, wow. Super high.
Oh. Yeah, I think it was a really good season overall. There was a lot of good stuff going on that I haven't seen. Like the whole cult thing, I don't think that really went too well after a while. But when it started off, I thought it was an interesting storyline. I haven't really seen much, if at all. And the Martian Manhunter's dad and stuff was a really interesting storyline for the whole season. And then it had cape tricks, you know.
That's what I'm knocking it out for. I hated cape tricks. So
that was silly.
I hope they do more.
Yeah. Race, it gives the entire season 3.25. All right, cool. I'm trying to think what other gooky tricks they could come up with instead of cape tricks. I don't know. Anyway.
When the fight with Rain was the best fight, the original fight was the best fight they've done in the whole series.
Just her and Rain in the middle of the season? Yeah.
I thought that was really well done and pretty epic feeling. And so there's some good stuff in there.
Yeah.
Whatever, Francis, what do you give the entire season?
I wish I had as good a feeling about the season as you guys did. I'm giving it a 2.75. It was there were a lot of good individual episodes. I thought some of the storylines were really well, but I think they had a lot of plot holes, a lot of just dropped characters, and a lot of just things that they're like, it didn't work. Let's just not talk about it anymore as if it doesn't exist. And it was really kind of weird. But I mean, I think the setup is great for next season. But right now, I wasn't very impressed with this last one.
All right. Yes, as I said, it was my favorite season. Supergirl, my favorite show of the season of the DC shows on CW. So I think I'll go with you, Mark. I think I'll give it a 3.75 overall. I really enjoyed it.
But mind you, that's my score came from the guy who loved the season finale of Legends of Tomorrow. So you know.
Well, you love that show. Yeah, I know.
Well, Legends of Tomorrow's season was the strongest they've ever had, for sure.
Yeah.
So that was a good season. I almost have to say,
I love Bebo.
I think Bebo loves you. I think I would, when it comes to like overall story arc, I really think Legends of Tomorrow paid off the best of all of them this season.
Really?
Well, maybe not. Maybe Black Lightning did better actually, but it did way better than Arrow did. Arrow's was all over the place, and and Flash was kind of so-so, you know. So yeah, it might be. You need to watch it, Jeff. Then you can tell us how wrong we are.
Yeah. Or how right we are.
Yes. So Carrie gives the season of Supergirl a very specific score, 3.14.
Ooh, very Pyle.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Yes, it is very Pyle. Carrie says 3.85 for Legends. There you go. He loves Legends too.
Yeah. Right. I'm with you, Carrie. With you.
All right. Let's see. Okay. Well, let's talk about some predictions now. The last thing we'll do today, predictions for the new seasons. I don't know if we've got. I guess did we kind of handle Supergirl predictions already, or any other predictions we haven't talked about for Supergirl? We kind of worked in a little bit as we were discussing it, the finale.
Yeah.
Anything else, Marx?
I predict Brainiac and Supergirl will have a relationship.
I called that. I call that. Yeah, 100%.
Like the brainy we know, that Brainiac.
Yeah.
Do you really think so? Or are you just being goofy?
I think it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. Craniac is gonna happen.
Craniac. I love it. Well, now it has to happen just for that. Here you go, folks. The ship name got Francis Fernandez. He named it. You know what? I actually wouldn't mind seeing.
Yeah,
that would be funny.
It would be. It'd be really out of left field, but at the same time, I think it could happen. I think it actually will happen, and I think there's got to be a wedding or something. There's going to be some big event, like personal event that's going to happen.
A wedding? Who's going to go a wedding? Lena and Jimmy?
And Jimmy, maybe, because it's going to be a year. Oh, it's been a year. And I don't know. That's my prediction. Is there's going to be either a wedding or some big event like the adoption. Alex adopts a child or something. Some big personal event is going to happen.
Oh, that's going to happen. She's going to adopt. Yeah.
I think a wedding. I think because they already had two.
Martian Manhunter is going to fall in love with the Earth and merge with it and give birth to a moon.
That's first off. That's incestual because it's his father.
Oh yeah, that's wrong.
That's wrong.
It's Pluto.
Marx,
He falls in love.
Gross. Jeez. I already found out today that Marx worked on porn films before, so I don't need to know about. No, just what's the name of the film though? That kind of sounds like it that you worked on.
Oh, Bloody Hooker, Bang Bang.
Wait, a love story. That's the full title.
Were you teaching this in class? Was that what you're teaching your students?
Yes. He says,
This is
here,
a movie I
folks,
made.
watch Bloody Hooker Bang Bang. It's
It's a love story. I love it.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to predict for the other shows.
By the way, in the chat, Carrie gives Flash and Arrow seasons 2.2 repeating. These are very mathematical numbers here.
I love it.
Raisa says she loves Black Lightning and Legends. Shorter season equals better storytelling.
100%. I agree.
And I predict when we see Wen again, he will have his own Legions of Superheroes costume.
What's his superhero name? What's it going to be? The Finger.
Shoddy.
What would be a good thing? I don't know. Smarty Boy.
Come on. It's terrible.
I mean, I'm trying to do it like, that's how they name people in the future.
They name him with, you mean boy at the end of the name?
Smarty
IQ lad.
IQ. Brainiac 2.5. No, I don't know. I mean, he's got to have a good name though. If he has a ring, that'd be amazing. If he had a ring,
it's got to be another genius-like character from the Legion of Superheroes. There's so many characters. Yeah, it's got to be more than just Brainiac.
I think he'll just be Win.
Just win.
Winner.
Because I always win.
Yeah.
And he'll have a beard.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Back from the Future. This is in.
It's the only way you know someone's from the future, right?
That's how you know they're from the future. They got beards.
Marx are from the future.
Or they're from a parallel universe, right? Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. A mirror universe. They have.
That's a goatee.
Oh, only goatees. Okay.
Only
good.
goatees.
All right, folks. Yeah, these are great predictions. All right.
And I predict his dad will pop up. His head will pop out of the earth, and he'll be like, "Oh,
all right. Oh my God." This is what I'm going to hear about all next season. This freaking Earth, Martian Earth thing.
Hey, if it doesn't happen, we're going to be disappointed.
In the chat, Carrie says IQ, like the character from Bionic 6. Oh shit, I watched that. Wasn't that animated show about the Bionic family? Is that the one I'm thinking about? Carrie, let me know. Or maybe it's something else.
6.
Yeah.
Anyway, what about Black Lightning predictions?
That's hard because they just. I mean, I don't know the mythos of Black Lightning, but I think next season. Here's my prediction for next season: is there'll be a small crossover. I think there's going to be a small minor crossover with one of the other shows.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Did you guys? I haven't watched all the episodes yet. Did you guys say the youngest daughter has not become a hero yet, superhero? Just the eldest daughter?
She's starting to get powers, but she's not full blown yet.
Okay. So obviously I'm sure that'll happen, right? She'll kind of try to join them next season.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, she'll have powers. There'll be a family of superheroes, except for the mom.
Oh, poor mom. I feel bad for the mom.
Her power is she's a scientist. She has science on her side.
She's a doctor. Like, and she actually doesn't she actually like know how to be a regular
doctor?
I thought she was. That was my understanding.
Yeah,
she's like a neurologist or something like that.
Yeah. No, neurologist, right? Not urologist.
Yeah, she's.
Carrie confirms for me. Yes, the Bionic 6 was the animated series about the family of Bionics. I like that show. Wow. Good call, Carrie. That's a blast from the past. You guys are gonna have to do most of these predictions.
Sure.
So I think we're gonna get a lot of prison action with Arrow.
Oh, now we're on Arrow? Okay, we're jumping all over the place.
Oh, sorry. Which one are
That's
we on
fine.
right
No,
now?
we were on Black Lightning, but we can
Black Lightning. Okay, sorry. Let me finish up Black Lightning. I think we're gonna get. I hope we'll get a crossover. Maybe we'll see another superhero from that setting too. That'd be kind of cool.
I think.
In the actually on Twitter, Kerry had said his prediction was Gambi is killed next season.
Ooh, I hope not.
Ooh, hope not.
Yeah, he's a good character. He's a good complex character, and we still have his entire history.
I think there'll be a new big bad. Instead of the 100, it'll be the 1,000.
Oh God, we talked about this already. No.
Is Tobias Whale still around?
Oh yeah,
it's probably going to be the next big. Actually,
that sucks. Well, he was already the big bad.
He technically wasn't.
Really? He's the worst.
He'll get a bunch of superpowered villains, probably. Super villain game.
Yeah, he'll have his own Sinister Six or something.
Carrie in the chat says, "I see Black Lightning dealing with those enhanced kids."
Right,
yes.
The ones on Greenlight. Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
I remember that part. Yeah,
it's going to be difficult to say. Like I said, it's just hard to say because we don't. Yeah, I mean, I haven't read anything up on like what's happening next season either. Like, I don't know.
Do we know? Is it also not coming back till the January again? Like,
yeah, it's a half season. It's a short season, a 13-episode season. I think. I'm fairly certain it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think so. Yeah. But I mean, look, that's fine. I think it works better that way. I really do.
If anything, all the shows should probably do that.
Yeah.
And then we can get Birds of Prey finally. They'll have room for it.
Yeah, but yeah, they'll probably. My prediction is Bat Family will show up on Black Lightning. Someone from the Bat Family.
Really?
Yeah.
Who will show up?
Anyone from the Bat Family. It could be someone obscure. I mean, they're already getting a Batwoman for Arrow.
Yeah, we're talking about that in a second.
Yeah, so I think they'll just have another. They'll have like a Robin or like a Nightwing or something. For no actual Batman, but I think they'll have like a Nightwing or a Red Hood or something from the.
No, maybe a Red Hood. I don't.
But I think they're going to try to make it connect more to the DC universe, like the other shows are.
It'd be nice if they had some of the outsider characters, because Black Lightning was tied to them quite a bit.
Maybe.
Outsiders.
Yeah, I know. I still kind of feel that they're going to keep this one away from the other shows. That's what they've said, but.
I think they're going to have a small crossover.
Yeah,
they should. I don't understand why.
I mean, you're right. They very well may.
Other than they film in two different locations, Atlanta.
Yeah, but if you make it small, where you just have one character pop in,
yeah,
then that's pretty doable. Yeah. It's
like Roy for some reason is there or something.
Martian Manhunter on his journeys.
Oh, right.
But wait a minute. But this is not. This is not Earth 1, right?
We really don't know what Earth this is. They've given us a lot of different clues that make it could be either one or none, And they mentioned Supergirl. They mentioned Supergirl.
Wonder Woman. Didn't they mention Wonder
Woman? They mentioned Vixen.
They didn't mention Wonder Woman, I don't think. Did they?
No, I think it was just Supergirl. You're right.
It was Supergirl, yeah, I remember that.
And they mentioned Vixen.
Okay.
Those are two different Earths right there. So it's kind of hard to say. I kind of would like him to be on Supergirl's Earth. I think it would be nice, different view of Supergirl's world than what we normally see on Supergirl.
Yeah, that'd be really.
And then you can have Guardian guest star.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that'd actually be really good. Yeah, I agree. Marx, yes.
in the chat.
And then Black Lightning's like, you're such a cute little wannabe vigilante. I'll show you how it's done.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that'd be hilarious.
In the chat, Raysta says Black Lightning is actually going to debut in October with The Flash. Now, it still may be a shorter season, but it's going to go in the fall, I guess.
Yeah, I kind of thought. I think they're all debuting, aren't they? Or am I wrong?
Really? Are all 5 of them actually debuting in October? Well, Raysta, let us know.
I don't think
they released a schedule. I just feel like
I remember the one executive said we never going to have more than 4 superhero shows on at one time. That was probably throw that out the window.
Nah, I don't think so.
Carrie says, have they cast Batwoman yet? If not, cast Stephen Amell's wife, Cassandra Jean. I don't know her, actually. Is she an actress?
I hope so. Otherwise, it won't go well.
Maybe she's a natural.
You're going to hire Cassandra. There's an Ebner around that could use it,
Okay, well, we love Cassandra Ebner.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a stunt woman, and she's been in Arrow.
Yeah.
Reza says
She
yes.
also she would make an excellent Batgirl of the Kane Batgirl, the one that was
Who,
that was
Cassandra
deaf,
Ebner?
or excuse me, mute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they have the same name?
What's that?
Because they're both named Cassandra?
Yeah, I think she'd be great for that role.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm 100%. I'm with you.
Yeah.
And I like that character. I like that type of Batgirl. So
Yeah. Yes, come on, cast Cassandra Ebner, folks. All right. Reza says, yes, all of them are going to debut in the fall, and she says Supergirl is going to move to Sunday.
Uh-oh.
What's
Really?
Uh-oh. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with Sunday?
Or is Friday I know there's a day that's like the death knell of a show.
I think Walking Dead is on Sundays. Or Fear the Walking Dead.
Competing against Walking Dead.
No, I'm not. Well, I don't know if it's going to be competing against that, but Saturday's the day they don't put any like really shit stuff on.
Saturday's pretty bad, and Fridays evenings aren't always the greatest either.
Yeah,
that's when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is on, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is amazing. So, but they are canceling it. It is on its final season next season, so I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, well, Sunday's a good day actually because people got to go to work and school the next day. And
so when would you do DC Action Hour then?
Oh well, it's not Sunday right now. It's actually Thursday, so we're doing it on a different day than usual. But you're right. We did do it on Sundays all before.
Yeah.
Well, we could just talk about the previous one, or maybe we do it immediately after it ends, and we're like, and then we all have to be all caught up all the time, though. So we're probably not going to do that.
We could stream our reactions to it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Yeah.
Earth glue.
Right. That's all you hear. Mark's be like, come on, Earth glue. It's ridiculous.
Come on.
All right. So CW has a whole new schedule. Carrie says Friday is the death slot. That's not good, but Saturday's even worse. Well, Saturday they don't really even put new shows on. They put like sports and other stuff.
Saturday's really bad.
Right. Saturday's bad, yeah.
I really wish, talking about CW, I really wish they had made Wayward Sisters spinoff of Supernatural. I'm just saying. Could you hear her?
All right. What is predictions for Arrow? Twitter, Carrie says on Twitter, Ollie gets Suicide Squad missions. That would be interesting.
That would be cool if they did that. Yes. That would be a good way for him to earn his freedom.
And listeners may want to know, is he going to be in the same prison as Barry? Probably, I'm assuming not, since they're in different cities.
That's true.
Is it Iron Heights? Is that where Barry was?
Yes.
Right.
Blackgate is
Blackgate is Bloodhaven.
Oh, Bloodhaven.
Right.
Yeah.
I think.
They were going to make a Green Arrow movie a few years back where he was in a Supermax prison or whatever, and they were going to have supervillains, and he was going to break out. Do you remember that? Those rumors?
Familiar.
I don't know what you're talking about, actually.
Yeah, they were working on doing that, like a Green Arrow. It was like Prison Break meets Green Arrow.
Was this after the show had started?
I don't know. Not sure where it fell in that timeline, but before they came out of Batman vs Superman and stuff, at least. Not sure if it was before Man of Steel or not.
Interesting.
But yeah. Anyway, there's rumors that they were going to use some of that material. I don't know.
Well, see, I mean, one way obviously could be that the team tries to break him out. I'm sure they're going to want to, but I actually going to think he's going to tell him not to. And if anything, I actually think he's going to make some kind of arrangement or deal to get out, that he has to do something for the government or somebody.
Yeah, but who has that power?
Argus.
All right, well, I guess
Argus definitely does, but even I guess this FBI woman does, if she can like make a deal for everybody else to go free and him be in prison.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they'll keep him in there for, well, I predicted Barry wasn't going to be in the first episode of the last season, so I think he's going to be out first episode of
Well, yeah, see, Marx thought Barry was going to be out like one episode, and I predicted like 4, and I was like measly right on. What do you think this time, Marx? Do you think they're in prison for a while, or?
I think he might be in prison for maybe the first, maybe 4 or 5, 6 episodes at the most.
You say one?
When I say that, I mean like if they have a Suicide Squad or something going on in the prison. I know Roy's coming back. Maybe he's going to become the new Arrow if because I have a feeling that Diggle's not going to want to be Arrow. I don't know.
By the way, which is totally preposterous that they made that whole big fucking deal with him getting in a fight with Oliver, and now he can become Arrow and he doesn't actually want it.
I know. It doesn't make any sense.
So stupid.
He's over it.
I know. There's a lot of things that didn't make sense. Their motivations.
It was so manufactured.
Is Whiny Team Arrow coming back?
Well,
What's that?
Whiny Team Arrow, he's asking. I think it seems like those characters are coming back, right? But my prediction is because Oliver, well, first off, he already did his handshake tour, as Marx calls it, at the season finale. But also since he went to prison to save all of them, I think all of them are now going to be like, oh, wow, he's a great guy. We should get behind him. And then they're not going to be whiny anymore. And they're all going to be a nice, cohesive team.
I wouldn't mind that. That wouldn't be bad.
If that doesn't happen, I'm out. Like, seriously, I'm not watching if that doesn't happen.
One of two things have to happen. They either get written out for whatever reason.
Or they have to work together.
Or they have to work together without all the whining, which Curtis especially, because he's working with Felicity, like they need to hash it out. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I don't know.
I really thought they were going to write out Wild Dog the way they were doing.
I did too.
His character.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he came back.
I'm really shocked.
Just who's going to be the main villain for next season of Arrow? Oh, I guess
Longbow Hunters and stupid ass Diaz.
Yeah. Who doesn't know all the martial arts? I was really disappointed.
He does not know all the martial arts. That was a sad turn of events. Maybe he'll learn it from the Longbow Hunters in 3 months.
Yeah, those Longbow Hunters better be fucking cool, man, because he is not. They have not done a good job with Diaz.
I mean, the one episode was really good.
Yeah, no, you're right. One episode was fantastic. The flashback, or not? Well, not flashback. The one with him and Siren.
Yeah, that was pretty good, but that's about it.
That was it. After that, they just stopped caring.
Maybe next season we'll all be We'll have flashbacks of Diaz's life to become a badass.
God.
And he's just pretending not to be
much.
bad. He actually did learn all the martial arts, but he's been holding it back.
Right.
Until he's mad. Now he's angry, and now all the martial arts are coming out.
The dragon comes back out. When he unleashes the dragon.
In the chat, Carrie Johnson says, I've heard about this Super Mac storyline too. Not really familiar with though. So there you go, Marx. He knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, go ahead.
Do you think? So we know Roy's coming back. Do you think he's going to be back as Red Arrow, or do you think he'll take on the Green Arrow for a little while?
Arsenal. I think he's going to be Arsenal. Let's just go back to being Arsenal again.
I think he probably will become Green Arrow for a little while because it always seems like somebody has to be that, but then he'll become Arsenal.
No one needs to be Green Arrow, and everyone knows who the Green Arrow is.
No, the show is Arrow. You have to have a Green Arrow.
But if he took up the mantle of the Green Arrow, it'd be like, wait a minute, we already accused him of being the Green Arrow the last time. Here he is.
But here's the thing.
Obviously couldn't be him.
It's going to represent. It's going to represent that the Green Arrow is bigger than just Oliver. It is a symbol of this, like how Dick Grayson took over Batman. Like Batman is a symbol. Criminals fear the idea of Batman. So in Star City, they fear Green Arrow.
Right.
They fear the penetration of an arrow in their body.
Right.
Oh, I thought you were going something weird sexual thing with that in a second.
No.
In the Queen household, the arrow means hope.
Yes, that is their crest.
Yeah. Just like the S. Anyway.
Carrie says, I hear Justin Hartley played Green Arrow on Smallville, if you don't know, wants to be on Arrow. He would be a great longbow hunter. Well, that would be awesome. I would love to see Justin Hartley on Arrow because they brought so many other characters back, and he was Green Arrow.
That'd be really funny if
he was hunting Green Arrow.
No, if Dragon ends up being like the first season's and bad guy, getting dropped for Justin Hartley being the new main bad guy for the rest of the season. Even though we still don't know what happened to Slade's son, we don't know what Slade's son is doing.
Maybe he became a longbow hunter.
Oh no, yeah. Yes, you know what I would really love? It's not going to happen, I don't think, but I would love Slade to break Oliver out of prison and just go batshit, go like fighting like shit. That'd be amazing. Like single-handedly just break Oliver out of prison.
Come with me, Oliver. We're going to break out. Let's go. Like, all right.
I like your impersonation there.
It just would be weird. It'd just be really weird, but it'd be great. It would be good.
It'd be amazing, man. I want more Slade.
Yeah.
Hey, Slade could take up the mantle of Green Arrow.
No.
Imagine that. Dude, how amazing would that be? That would be awesome.
I like to make sure people are sliced in half. That's my thing. Like it's not gonna work because he's gonna kill everybody.
It'd be great. No, he's a nicer guy now. He's not gonna kill everybody.
I'm gonna hug everyone.
He just cuts off body parts, not kill them.
You don't need to. All right, I guess.
This just may said in the multi-crossover episodes, they said Diggle was a reverend. They'll use some of that in the first episode, so I'll go have some visitors. What? Was Diggle a priest in a different universe?
No, I think they did mention the church at some point, and I think they did mention him heading a church at some point. I think I'm pretty sure. I remember
a different Earth version of Diggle was head of a church.
No, this particular Diggle, this
what?
actual, yeah.
He was before he became New Oliver. You mean?
Before he went to war and became a.
Oh shit! I had no idea. Wow, how about that?
But
you know what we need? Flashback
of Diggle. No more flashback. You know what what they're going to do is they're going to introduce whoever's going to be Batwoman in the first episode. They're going to do flashbacks of her throughout the season till the cross.
I'm sold, dude. I want a Batwoman show.
Well,
I haven't seen her. I want a Batwoman show.
She'll pop in like, I will replace Green Arrow.
I hope that's not her line. She doesn't say it like that, but all right.
with the sound effects.
Yeah, showing her own sound effects.
I mean, it'd be great to see grappling hooks and batarangs. That'd be awesome. I hope that happens.
I know. I'm so excited to see a Bat character, and I've always liked Batwoman actually.
I can't believe Batgirl is too big to be one of the Bat family. I mean, Batwoman is.
Well, Batwoman is a more recent addition, and she's not as well, like in the history there.
Yeah.
And also, see, here's the thing. I still got a problem with the freaking goddamn New 52, and that's when they got rid of Oracle, right? And went back to Batgirl, I think.
Oh.
Like Oracle was the best version of Barbara Gordon, like I think by far.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're not gonna do that.
That's my prediction. I don't have any other predictions for Arrow, right? Other than, No, I have nothing else. Oh, Felicity's gonna get pregnant. There's my last prediction. Felicity's gonna get pregnant.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I predict we'll see Bebo again.
Well,
in Arrow or Legends?
On one of the shows.
From your lips to the writer's ears, Marx, please.
I like Bebo, yeah. By the way, people in the chat, let's just make race and carrier reminding me, I forgot that Diggle married Oliver and Felicity. That, yes, he is certified to do marriages. Thank you, guys. I totally forgot.
But, yeah. All right.
All right. So there we go. There's some Arrow predictions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited about Black. I'll watch this because Batwoman's going to be on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if there's whininess, I'll watch it for Batwoman. Let's see. Let's move on to Legends. What are your predictions for Legends? Carrie keeps predicting people are going to die. He's predicting Nora dies. Raysa told us that she's a regular character this next season.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't even know what happened with her, but I do know she was one of my favorites. I actually really liked her on the parts I did see of last season.
I mean, that's good.
So I'm all about that. Yeah. Any predictions for next season of Legends?
I can't remember her name all of a sudden. Oh, what's her name?
Who's the character?
The clone.
Oh shit, there's a clone. Wow, that's news to me. Who's cloned?
Oh,
that's okay. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Spoilers.
No, it's totally fine. I know you have to do spoilers at this point.
Why can't I remember her name?
One of the main characters?
Yeah, she's the one who's dating.
Ava Sharp?
Ava, yeah.
Ava Sharp's a clone?
No, who knows? We don't know who the clone is. Who knows?
Stop it.
You gotta watch the show and find out, Jeff.
Was the original Ava a clone, or you mean she got cloned?
You're gonna have to watch to find out.
No, just tell me now. Since you brought it up, you got to tell me.
He was talking about Bebo clones. That's what he's talking
about. Anyway.
No, I got to tell me now. Is the original with a clone?
All right. Okay. So there's an episode that's, I think, one of the better episodes where we find out that in the future they manufacture Avas, and she has.
Oh,
yeah.
She's one of them from the future.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Well, different. Yeah, it is right. Future, yeah.
So there you go. The daughter is right. Did we establish that girl is the? No, I'm sorry, wrong show. I mean the daughter. Constantine will have, of course, a bigger influence.
He's a regular, right?
He's gonna be a regular, yeah.
So there'll be more. I'm guessing there's going to be more magical episodes. Even though that's weird to have the magic guy in after defeating the one magic dude in Dark, but it's fine. I don't know.
In the chat, by the way, listeners made it said for Arrow, I wonder if Ollie's son will try to become the Green Arrow. Well, he might. That will be a complete failure. But if he does, since that kid doesn't know really jack about fighting, obviously. Carrie says, this is my favorite prediction. He says, for Legends, I predict Mick finishes his book and it becomes a bestseller.
Oh, I hope so.
He showed me a screenshot of this. I guess this is in later episodes. Yeah, so he's writing like a novel, and Zari or something was giving him feedback on it or something.
You could say it on the book charts. It's on fire.
Oh man. Yeah. I don't know. I hope whatever the big bad is for the next season of Legends isn't. It's I don't know. It just isn't one thing. I hope it's a group of people, kind of not like what they did with Eobard and all them, but like an actual organization that they have to fight as opposed to a single person.
Oh, okay, I predict yes. Reverse Flash will come back again.
They'll
have some preposterous reason for him being back.
You know what they should fight? They should fight because they're on an alternate Earth, alternate timeline, an alternate version of the Legion of Superheroes.
Oh, Wally isn't coming back. That's right. The guy who played Wally isn't coming back.
Wait, he only joined for like half a season. Now he's gone.
Well, he ended up quitting acting altogether.
Really?
Yeah. He says he's ready for his next adventure, but he gave up acting altogether, so he's not coming back anymore in any show.
Well, he's going to be a little bit on Flash. A little bit.
Oh, he was in the finale of Flash.
Yeah. But
you see, there you go. He was like, "Oh, Legends, this is crazy. I'm gonna go Flash." Wait, but are you saying that Legends are in an alternate timeline?
I mean, Legends is
from Supergirl. They're in a different timeline. Yeah. So the Legion of Superheroes, we know what they're like in Supergirl's world. But the Legion of Superheroes,
they're still on Earth 1. Like Legends.
Well, the Legends are based off of Earth 1.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's the Earth 1 timeline. They're based off of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So they're a different Earth than Supergirl's timeline. So Legion of Superheroes or whatever could be a very different kind of Legion in the future.
Yeah.
How about we have? Oh God, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing.
How about we have a real Legion of Doom and not that stupid ass Legion of Doom they had last season?
I don't know if we'll get it in Legends of Tomorrow though.
I mean, where else are you going to get it though?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the only show. Like, I guess you really
mega crossover.
Well, that could be the
Why don't they do a crossover where Legion of Doom is the main storyline?
It could work, but then where does Richard Dragon come in?
Hopefully they kill him. Actually, that's what I want too. I want Slade to come in and say, "Diaz, you're ridiculous," and just kill him. Like, real easy.
It could be like Lex Luthor from Supergirl breaks out, goes to Earth 1, gets the help of Gorilla Grodd.
Yep.
And who else is it's still
we don't have any of the traditional Legion really.
Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he needs to get Brainiac from his Earth too.
Yep. Let's get Brainiac in there.
They should actually take some of the people from Earth 19, Supergirl's Earth, and put them in there because she has some pretty good villains.
And she has powerful ones.
Yeah. So bring some of them in there.
The new Toy Man.
Oh God, no more Toy Man.
Yeah, you really love the Toy Man.
There's a version of Toy Man, I think, that's like a actual robot. So his dad could have saved himself by downloading himself into a robot.
Carrie put in King Shusha, but I think he meant King Shark in the chat.
King Shark would be great. That'd be awesome, actually. Let's have some King Shark in there.
That's his shark name, Shusha. Shark language.
Listener's Mate says, if Constantine's going to be a regular on Legends, there's going to be a lot more episodes that will deal with religion and the paranormal.
Probably, yeah.
And Carrie says, I'm glad Amaya will be back. Oh,
so
did she leave Legends?
She was supposed to, and Wally was supposed to take her place. Now we don't have to worry about that anymore because
Well, that actress must be happy that he quit. Then she's like, all right, I'm back on. I got a gig again.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, why not? Sure. I'm out of villains.
Carrie gives us a list for Legion of Doom: King Shark, Reverse Flash, Bizarro, Supergirl, Toyman.
And you always have to have the super in there. That's for sure.
But yeah, that's a great way to introduce Lex because we haven't seen him.
Will we get Lex though? I guess we could.
Well, we could in the crossover because it could be from a different Earth.
That's true. Yeah.
Now, but you think we will?
Wait, I think there's been alternate versions of Luthor and other stories, right? So they could have a version on Earth 1 that pops up with hair.
Isn't Batwoman actually going to be in the crossover? Isn't that where she's going to be introduced? They said
it's supposed to be. I'm not sure how that was supposed to work, but
they'll introduce her in the crossover. I think she'll be in the crossover. But
I thought I read that's what they were going to do. Actually,
that's a weird introduction. Hey, see all these people from different Earths?
Well, but they did that last year with what's this guy's name? The Ray, right?
Oh yeah.
And then he got his own animated series.
Yeah, but nobody. No offense to the Ray, but nobody
watched it. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah, nobody wants to. I mean, Batwoman, people care about. People will want to see.
Ouch! Some hatred on the Ray here. Jeez.
The Ray. And we already have. Anyway, go on.
Oh, Raisa says the actress is playing a new character. She's not playing Amaya. Really?
Which makes sense because she plays kind of herself. No, she doesn't.
Wait, how's that working?
No, she doesn't.
Is she playing like a descendant of herself?
Maybe, but they already have an actress who plays a descendant of Amaya, which is weird. Who's already been introduced in Arrow. Like, that's really strange. I don't know.
Maybe she's the vixen from the Earth that Black Lightning's on.
all I want is for her to have her original British accent when she comes back. Because that's a great accent.
Why did she not have her accent?
No, she has an American accent in which is weird.
Wait, in the latest season, you said she kind of switched to an American accent?
Yeah, for Legends, her character has an American accent, but her real
when she was introduced in Legends in the Justice Society, you're saying she had a British, right?
No, she had a British accent for an episode when they were in the past, but I don't think she had a British accent I don't think so.
Why did she have a British accent at all then?
Well, it's her original accent, but she did it when she was a pirate. When she played a pirate, she had a British accent. That's right. But yeah, she just had an American accent since her introduction, but she had a British accent when she was a pirate.
Okay. So you want her to be a pirate is what you're saying?
No, I just want her to have the British accent because I think she has a great British accent.
All right.
Just an accent. What do you want?
No, that's fine. No, dude, I love British accents. All right. That's an interesting tangent, though.
Hashtag more screen time for Imra. Okay, moving on.
Wow, you really love Imra. More than I do. All right. Predictions for Flash. So, by the way, that the girl is their daughter, right? That we saw at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get Blue Cobalt or whatever.
Cobalt Blue.
Cobalt Blue. Him too.
So back to a speedster.
Yeah. I think so. We're gonna get in the future.
Is Cobalt Blue related or no to him? To Barry?
He is an original version of him.
Is he Bart?
Really convoluted. It's like super convoluted comic book soap opera thing. He's like a twin separated from birth of Barry Allen.
God, I hope they don't do that.
Yeah.
No.
And
what's the daughter's name?
Speedy. No.
Is it Nora?
His mom's name.
Nora, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an interesting. 2 Noras on 2 shows. So what do you think? What do you think's with her? Is she gonna like? She came back to tell him like there's something bad that happened in the future that they need to change or something.
It'd be great if they spent the season in the future or something like that. Traveling to different timelines was a great part of season 2. Was it when they were?
He went to the future once where he met the emo version of himself.
Right. Right.
That was cool though.
Yeah, she must have messed up. She went back in time, did something. I don't know if it's involved with her saving him with the whole falling satellite, or if it's something she did before then. I don't know what she did.
Oh, you think Nora messed something up? I was thinking Nora is coming back because something in the future she knows is going to happen, so she's trying to prevent it.
No, she said she made a mistake.
Oh, she made a mistake. Yeah.
Oh, in the last episode she said that?
I think so.
She saved someone she shouldn't have.
Oh, is that what she says?
And it became Cobalt Blue.
That's my prediction, is she saved someone she shouldn't have. That's my prediction. And it destroys the future. Kind of like in Supergirl, right? They stop.
The lesson is, don't save people. You just never know.
We stopped the blight, but now we have this other Brainiac that's trying to control everyone. It's like, all right.
I want to see that evil Brainiac.
It's evil Brainiac, right? Yeah. Hopefully they'll take the one from Krypton. Is it Krypton? Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched Krypton yet, but
I just seen what he looks like on Krypton, and the Brainiac on Krypton is a much better looking Brainiac, for sure.
So we have very different opinions about Dibney in the chat. Lister's mate says Dibney is going to be back next season of Flash. Woohoo! Carrie says, "Oh God, Dibney is coming back." No, in my Darth Vader voice. Oh, I just noticed he said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be back. I hope he gets.
He's
to
a
do
regular.
Some detectiving.
He's gonna be a regular. Yeah, I'm sorry, Carrie. You're gonna see him all the time, actually.
Good old elongated.
I like
man.
Dibney though.
Yeah, he's better now. He's better now. I like him now.
He just had to die, or almost die to get. That'd be good if he did some detecting. Yes, that's his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, have some episodes dedicated to him actually doing his other job. That would be nice.
I think seems like Nora might bring some nice comic relief too. She's like a fun character.
Yeah. It's not like they have Cisco and they have so many other characters. Oh wait, my prediction is the new Wells will be
that's what I want to ask you guys about.
Yeah, the new Wells is going to be
yes.
I don't think he's going to be. They can't make him a genius again, and they can't make him an idiot either. Like they did that one time.
I see. I don't think they're going to do anything they've already done. I don't think he's going to be like HR and be actually really nice. But he's not going to be like Wells Earth 2.
Yeah,
I think they're going to go totally different than they've ever done with Wells.
And they can't. Well, they've done a lot already. They've done evil Wells. They've done silly Wells. They've done too many different types of Harrison Wells.
We have superpowers.
That'd be different.
That'd be cool, actually. I wouldn't mind that. That would be cool. Don't make it speedster powers, and it'll be great. I think that'd be awesome.
I almost think they might do not choosing one of the Council of Wells, but maybe go that way where they make it like kind of really wacky and out there.
Ooh, or he can be kind of war-torn militant type of Wells. We haven't seen that yet, where he's just gruff and angry all the time and wants to kill. We haven't seen that. I think that'd be a good, that'd be an interesting way. He's of course really intelligent, but also wants to kill. That one's that could.
Flash has got to teach him: don't kill.
Relearn the lessons of the past.
Carrie says maybe Iris will even do some reporting. That'd be nice. She got back to that at the end of last season. I don't know. A little bit.
You know who I would like to see appear on the show? Probably on Supergirl, Lobo.
Not gonna happen.
Lobo would be great.
That's not gonna happen.
Supergirl's the right fit for that, yeah. Or Legends. Yeah. Legends actually. He'd fit in with the Legends perfectly.
He would, the original Lobo would be perfect for Legends actually.
Original Lobo? Why did they change him? I thought he's always been like a kind of a wacky, gruff guy.
Oh, they made him cool and intelligent.
Wolverine,
like when they did a reboot.
Oh, so he's not kind of like a biker anymore?
I don't know what he's like right now in this current version, if they have him. But yeah, after 52 or whatever it's called, New 52, they did him, they changed him. He wasn't the biker, cigar smoking kind of guy.
I like to pretend New 52 doesn't exist. Because here's the thing: why do you do something for like what 4 or 5 years and then you just do Rebirth? Like, why do it at all? Why do New 52 at all?
Well, they knew that. That's why they realized they made a mistake, and so they did the Rebirth.
Oh, so they didn't have Rebirth planned. You're saying at that point?
Yeah, I think they That's what I think that was the case. That they're trying to retcon what they thought was going to be the cool new 52, and it's like, no, people don't like that. They want to go back to the way it was. Okay, Rebirth. So
yeah, because it kind of there was some good stuff in it, but it was not very good.
Yeah.
So
all right,
too dark, too weird, too different.
Mm-hmm.
Any last predictions on any of the shows or stuff you'd like to see? Carrie says, let Patty Spivot visit for an app and work with Dibney on a case. Oh my God, Carrie, you're my favorite person in the universe right now. That would be my dream. That would be so amazing. So amazing. I love Patty Spivot.
I would like to see them do the question at some point.
Oh shit, Marx. I didn't know you loved Question's one of my favorite characters. I didn't know you liked him too.
Yeah.
I love the Question.
There's a female version too.
Yes, Renee Montoya.
Yeah.
In that, you know what I was telling you about what they called the 52 when they released a comic every week of the year? That's when she became the Question in that storyline.
Oh.
Yeah. I remember that storyline.
That was one of my favorite storylines, actually, of that thing.
She could be a love interest for Alex someday.
Oh, snap. That's so good. If they had her as the Question and a love interest for Alex, that's amazing. I love it. But it's such a cool costume. Like, that's one thing I've actually considered cosplaying, because it wouldn't be horribly crazy to do.
Yeah. That's a good costume. So
that's great. You know who was also good? The Question on the Justice League animated series or Unlimited was so good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think it was Jeffrey Combs, who's been in Star Trek and a bunch of stuff, and 4400, who played him. He was great, and he had a relationship with the Huntress on that, and they did such a good job.
Yeah, it was a good story.
And Question on that show.
Yep. That's one of the heroes I've been really wanting to see that haven't done yet. And Booster Gold. Booster Gold would be perfect in Legends.
Oh, God. Yes.
Skeets. Yes, I want Skeets. Carrie says, could Wells be the Question? Well, that's the question, Carrie.
No.
Oh, and there's rumors that Blue Beetle might be happening.
After mentioning Ted Cord Industries for like 6 years.
There's a character that casting description sounds a lot like Ted Cord, a lot like what the version of Ray Palmer they did, who was supposed to originally be Ted Cord. So a lot of people believe it might be Ted Cord.
I thought they already, don't they even make references to the Green Lantern as well already a bunch of times on the show? Like Green Lantern
his setting and stuff, yeah.
They've referenced what is it? What's
Coast City?
No, what's the oh my God, I can't believe what's the airfield that in Flash where they run, which is the Green Lantern reference? Ferris Air.
Yeah.
They mentioned that.
That'd be cool. Get some Green Lantern action in there. It doesn't have to be the Green Lantern, but a Green Lantern.
See, it's too much. I think Green Lantern's powers are just too crazy. Like to
yeah. Wait, Supergirl's powers are like, yeah, right.
No, they are. You're right. But I don't know. Green Lantern can create anything.
Earth super glue? That's not out there.
Earth super glue. Okay.
No, but in terms of like being able to have to do it from an actual TV standpoint, Green Lantern can create anything.
Yeah.
It would be.
Yeah.
In the chat, Lister's Mate says they might make Wells smarter than he was, assuming that he uploaded his brain into Gideon. Wells could re-download his smarts along with other stuff from Gideon.
Well, then technically they could have done that to the other Wells before he went back to his Earth.
Mm-hmm. However, Carrie, again, Patty Spivot would be amazing. I've been missing her since season 2 of Flash. I so wish she would come back.
Huntress.
I know. We've been talking about that too. Huntress to come back.
One day, all of our favorite characters will be back on the show.
Some of this just maybe the actors are in other roles, obviously, and they're
recast. Didn't stop him for Supergirl's mom.
I was gonna say I looked up Chantal Van Santen, and she's on a show called Shooter right now. So
yes, she's been on that for a little while now. I think
Huntress has been gone for so long that if you recast, most people won't even remember.
A lot of these characters, they're only going to come in for one episode. Like it's not that hard, to do a guest spot.
Hey, Patty. Here you're married now.
Wait, is that what you're saying, or is that Patty saying?
That's Patty saying it to Barry. Heard you're married now, Barry. Yeah, sorry, Patty.
But Patty and that was the best relationship. Patty and Barry, they're perfect for each other.
The one that made the most sense, and then they destroy it.
And Ray and Felicity made more sense too.
Ray and Felicity made more sense, yeah. And they're like, no, let's stick to the. they allowed an Ollie Felicity thing. They could have totally allowed a Barry, and I don't know. Anyway,
this is what I mentioned earlier in the show before you were on, Francis, that I think they get too stuck on the relationships from the comics that they have to do these relationships.
Yeah. Oh well, what can you do?
Except for Black Canary, they haven't really made her.
No, they can't seem to get her right.
Yeah,
they don't know what to do with her for some weird out of this world reason.
Well, I like Dinah Black Canary, except the whiny part, whiny Canary, I didn't like at all. But before that, I liked her a lot.
And she's they're bringing her back, like they're bringing all the characters back, right? I mean, to their less whiny selves, at least it seems that they should be less whiny next season. Here,
no whiny. I don't want any whiny at all. Curtis really. Curtis is the one that pissed me off. I don't know why he should not have been whining.
I know.
Like, Felicity got shot. Who cares? But Wild Dog. He's in the hospital. I care about him, but who cares about Felicity?
And they've known each other the longest. Yeah,
exactly.
Amongst the three of them, it's like, come on.
Even though Felicity introduced me to this whole world and blah blah blah.
Yeah. They let me wear a costume, even though I get beat up all the time.
By the way, that's one thing though. Like he can actually he's good in fights now. Remember how we used to always make fun of how he was terrible? He always got his ass kicked.
Yeah. Well, he knows how to handle
his balls.
He knows how to handle his balls better. Yeah. He's so much better at handling his balls.
That was the key. He had to focus on his balls.
He did.
Raisa says they could have a Martian meet a universe guardian on Supergirl. What's a universe guardian?
No, I don't know.
No, Guardians of the Universe, the ones that create the Green Lantern rings.
Oh, for the ones on Oa?
Yeah.
Oh, I know who you mean. Yeah, okay. And Carrie says, maybe we'll find out what happened to Talia and Artemis on Arrow. I would love more Talia, absolutely.
Yeah.
Be great.
Still out there.
I liked her.
Mm-hmm.
She was cool.
Awesome. Talia, Nissa, all good.
They should join the Longbow Hunters.
Oh,
they should be the leaders of them and get rid of Diaz.
They'll be her and Slade's son and the guy who formerly played Green Arrow and Smallville playing
Justin Hartley,
really cool.
Are we tired of his clenched teeth talking every time he speaks?
Who?
Diaz always.
Oh,
right. I'm gonna have to kill these people. And it's always clenched teeth and pursed lips. It's the worst. It's so bad.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Oh, it's all the time. Yeah. I didn't like him very much. Oh,
that's what gives him headaches and it makes him evil.
He's constipated the entire time. It's insane.
Oh, sorry. Now I want to see a scene where he's on the toilet.
Get Oliver. Oh.
He's on the phone trying to talk to his minions.
Oh, jeez.
He's reading the newspaper about Oliver in prison.
Don't mind the flushing. Just get Oliver.
Just.
Oh, I don't know why they don't let us write an episode of these shows. Listener's mate is excited about Curtis's balls in the chat. Okay. Yeah. And Carrie says that longbow lineup would be great. All right. I agree.
Yeah.
Yep. It'll probably be not good.
No.
It'll probably be what we call Back from the Dead. The one that
Prometheus
betrayed them. Huh?
Prometheus? No.
No. Sorry. The woman who was one
Artemis?
of the
Artemis?
Yeah, Artemis.
Yeah. Oh, Artemis, yeah. She's just hanging out.
She could be alive, yeah.
Yeah. She hasn't done anything. She just ran away.
That was a really weird plot line with her, but anyway.
Yeah. All right. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, now you're going to be doing all next season of DC Action Hour. All right, guys, let's go ahead and make this
all right. I don't like these plot holes.
All right. Well, speaking of more DC Action Hour, we probably won't do another one actually until the fall season start, I would guess. However, we actually did do a special one last year before so you never know if we get the mood to do one. We did like a special Wonder Woman one, I think, at the beginning of, at the end of the summer last year.
When's Aquaman?
That's not till December.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This just said, do you think Thea and her husband will show up in an episode of Arrow next season? Well, if you mean Roy, they're actually not married yet, right?
No.
But Roy is going to be a regular, actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thea, I think Thea will make at least one appearance
On a team. They're gonna remote her in. It's gonna be her voice or something. It won't be her. They're gonna.
No, you don't think so? That'd be a bummer.
She'll talk on a screen. She'll Skype with Roy.
She'll be somewhere else. She's gonna be doing some movie, or she's gonna be doing something else while they're filming. She's not gonna have time to go to Toronto.
Vancouver.
Or Vancouver, sorry.
Or Vancouver either.
Yeah.
That's not going to either place.
You know.
That's the problem. She's in Toronto, and they're like, what do you do in Toronto? We're filming in Vancouver.
Oh, whoops, messed that up.
Yeah.
We'll just have me Skype in.
Look for Tim Hortons, eh? Anyway, yeah. So.
Never mind. I get on like my rants about how Tim Hortons is terrible.
I've never had it, so I don't know.
Oh, you're good. Lucky you.
I wasn't super impressed either.
No, all my Canadian friends talk about it, and it was like the food sucks.
You got to get your
like,
Timmies.
How do you mess up a donut that much?
But the Timmies, you got to get your Timmies.
No, it's like the McDonald's. It's like so prevalent. Except McDonald's looks like a freaking 4-star restaurant compared to.
Oh, they've redesigned them. Yeah, they've redesigned McDonald's.
Oh, McDonald's are fancy now. You're right.
Yeah.
Now I want McDonald's. I might go get that now.
Very posh of you.
All right. I'm sorry, Canadians who love Tim Hortons, but please just admit that it's not good.
Wow.
Look, there's a lot of great things about your country, but that's not one of them.
Stick to maple leaves. Stick to your maple syrup, and that's it. Just stick to that. Your maple syrup and hockey. There you go.
No, see, well, now you're kind of clichéing it, but no, you're like, lots of good stuff. I don't know, you're clean cities, you're nice. I don't know, you're nice to people. You know, that's what they're also known for.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
This is going to be a big hit in Canada, this episode.
Our Canadian numbers just went.
Well, in my defense, I've had so many Canadian guests on Super Geeked Up that we're like, might as well be a Canadian show.
There you go.
There you go.
Right.
Yep.
Listeners says Tim Hortons has good donuts. So, all right. So there you go. He's a fan of them.
Yeah.
There actually are a couple of them in Western New York, but near the border of Canada. So there are a couple in the U.S.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't too. Maybe I just had the wrong stuff.
Well, I had a donut, and I had one of their they actually have like fried McDonald's type foods, like a chicken sandwich or something.
Yeah.
The donut was like edible, but the chicken's, oh God, it was so bad. I don't know how to. Now you got to do it just to try it, Francis, when you get a chance sometime.
All right.
Just stick with Dunkin' Donuts, though. You'll be much better off.
I actually like Dunkin'. So
do you have Dunkin' Donuts in California? I don't know if.
We just got them back a couple years ago. And
it's more like a Krispy Kreme out there, right?
We have our Krispy Kremes, but yeah, we have Dunkin'. Dunkin' came back a couple years ago. It was a big deal. There were 2-hour lines to get Dunkin'.
That's funny. When Krispy Kreme came here, which they actually didn't last, unfortunately, there were huge lines.
Yeah. Well, Dunkin' is last. People are still loving Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, Dunkin' Donuts! You walk like a block and hit another Dunkin' Donuts here, like everywhere in the Northeast.
Yeah, here it's. I have to try to find a Dunkin' over here, but yeah, it's a success in California, and I do enjoy a Dunkin' Donut.
Dunkin' Donuts is the new sponsor of DC Action Hour. We will not be sponsored by Tim Hortons.
Yeah. It's okay. You don't like their stuff anyway, so it's all good.
However, if they do want to sponsor us, I'll change my opinion very quickly.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Give us free coffee and donuts, and we'll say how much we love Tim Hortons.
And I'll eat a Dunkin' Donut instead and pretend it's a Tim Hortons on air.
Oh. Them's fighting words right there.
All right. Anyway, let's end the show, I guess. Before we do that, though, I don't know how, when I thought we had the least amount to talk about, it became our longest show of all time. I don't know how this happens, but it always does.
Because you had me on at the end to blab on and on and on.
No, we love having you on. Thank you for being on. Speaking of that, where can they find you blabbing in other places? Where can they go?
Go to my website, sinceresarcasm.net, but you can find all my podcasts at points of
Podcats? You have podcats? That's great.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, that's the mascot, are the podcasts. But at Points of Interest Podcast, POIpodcast.com. And I'm at AKA the other guy everywhere. You put that somewhere, you'll find me most likely.
Sweet.
On MySpace?
What's that?
Come on, Francis. Get with the new stuff. That's a new thing.
I know, right? I gotta put you on my top 8, guys. Hold on a second.
Oh, that fucking shit. That was the worst.
Yeah.
Because it was like, oh, why am I on the top 8? Why? Make you feel bad about yourself and your friends and stuff. Jeez.
No. Hey, you knew where you stood in the friendship where you ranked in the top 8, you know. You knew.
All right. Hey, well, exciting news, Francis. Listeners made in the chat says Tim Hortons are extending down into Western Virginia and an hour away from him. There's Tim Hortons near the West Virginia border.
Ooh.
Oh, Tim Hortons is taking over America. That's bad news.
They're going to make their way over here for sure. They're going to come down from Seattle and make their way down here. If Starbucks has anything to say about it, they won't. But you know.
Oh, you're right. Because Starbucks does have donuts too. They have bake.
Yeah.
But their stuff is actually good.
I think Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts should merge.
Oh god, it's like Disney and Warner Brother, or no, Disney and Fox coming together.
Be like Dunkin' Bucks.
I like that name. However, then Dunkin' Donuts will not be affordable anymore.
Oh god, yeah.
True.
Starbucks, look, their stuff is great, but it's obviously a little pricey.
$2 for a good coffee. I'm down. I'm so down.
Oh, Dunkin', you
Starbucks
mean? Yeah.
is where I wrote half my book.
What happened?
My nonfiction book. It was in Starbucks.
So that's so you're partial to, yeah.
All right. Well,
they have some nice cushy chairs and stuff. Starbucks is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you and probably like 75% of the writers, right? In Hollywood go there.
It's a great place to work. It is. You got that soft jazz music playing overhead.
Yeah. Something about that music just makes you want to be creative.
Marx, where can people find your stuff?
You can find me over at marxpyle.com. I also do a podcast, co-host podcast called Genretainment. And you can find me on Twitter at Mr. Marx.
Folks, we are at supergeekedup.com. You can check all our shows out there. We do Super Geeked Up Live, which is a geeky improv and chat show. We always have a lot of fun. New season is going to be July 25th, right after San Diego Comic-Con, with brand new co-hosts. Very exciting. We're going to announce that at San Diego Comic-Con. We do gaming streams every so often. We actually just did a gaming marathon last weekend where we did some stuff for Roll20Con. That was a lot of fun. And we do some time to time as well. And and Super Knocked Up, my superhero show, is also on there. You can check all that out at supergeekedup.com. Please give us a follow or subscribe on YouTube or Twitch, wherever you're watching. We always appreciate that very much. And our Patreon is patreon.com/supergeekedup. Anything you can donate is always awesome, and we really appreciate it. And listeners made, I know in the chat, is one of our patrons, so thank you very much, sir, and everybody who's watching. Let's see, what else here? Anything else? All right, well, thank you very much for everybody for watching. Listeners mate, Raisa, and Carrie, we really appreciate you guys sticking with us. Pretty like 3 hours, I think we were doing this. You guys rock for sticking around this long. It's awesome. Hey, so you can see me at San Diego Comic-Con in about 3 weeks or so. It's July 19th through the 22nd, I believe. Mm-hmm. And I'll be doing 3 panels there. I cannot release the dates and exact info yet, but we are going to do Super Geeked Up Live, our geeky improv show. We're going to do 2 gaming panels, our super fun guide to Dungeons & Dragons and tabletop RPGs that we always do, and a new one which is called Amazing Tabletop RPGs for Beginners, so focus on people just getting started in RPGs. So I'll release the information when they release their full schedule. I hope you can come to some of those. Francis will actually be there again helping out, so it'll be great to see him there. And then Marx and I will be at Dragon Con Labor Day weekend, so we're very excited. I can't really say anything about that right now. They're in the process of firming up their schedules. But I can tell you that we're both going to be on a bunch of panels covering a whole variety of topics. And we will release
the
number.
that?
Cover all the topics.
Can you say the number of panels you guys will be on?
No, because I actually don't even know that yet. Because
okay.
I know some the ones I'm on, I know, but there's going to be ones more added. So.
Oh, wow.
You're
going to run that piece, man.
You did like 50 of them last year, so you know.
Man. I did 13 last year, and we'll see if I don't know if we'll see if I top that this year. I don't know. It was a lot of panels, but it was fun. It was fun. I actually like staying busy. It was good.
The Jeff Con is what they should be calling it.
Yeah, no, but I'm really looking forward to it. It's an awesome con. San Diego and Dragon Con are my two favorite cons, so I can't wait for both of them. And we will tell you when we're able to release more information. And it'll be cool because the Marx hasn't been in a long time, and it's the first time we're going to be there together.
Aw, adorable.
Yeah, we'll take some nice adorable shots for you, Francis, of us.
Yeah.
We're gonna like print off a picture of your face, Francis, and just hold it around by us.
That'd be really fun. You know, just a cutout, a cardboard cutout of me just going around places.
Yes, we'll put you in the audience of all our panels and take a shot. Like this guy went to every single one of our panels. He's great.
That'd be amazing.
I'm gonna put a word balloon. Earth glue.
I swear to God, Marx, if we do some DC panels and you bring that up on every panel, I'm gonna go nuts.
Mark, it'd be awesome.
Please.
And the rest of the panels are like, who is this guy? Why does he keep talking about Earth glue?
Oh man.
All right. All right, that's it, folks. Thank you very much for watching. We love hanging out with you guys. And we will, we'll see you for Super Geeked Up on July 25th. So that's a month from now about, or a little over. So we'll see you for that for sure. And then in the fall for some more DC Action Hour and probably some more gaming stuff along the way as well. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you have a great summer. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.